And welcome back to the Upside Sports Network. My name is Michael. Appreciate you guys joining us for a third straight evening. Going to finish off this Rangers and Angels series. Last time the two teams will face each other this year. Angels really just trying to get this season over with. Rangers had one stolen from them last night, though, by this Angels team. So we'll see how this one goes in the finale. For the Rangers, their magic number to clinch the AL West is down to 3 after the Astros lost in Seattle last night. We'll see if the Rangers get some more good news out of Seattle tonight. If Seattle were to win against Houston tonight, they would leapfrog into wild card position. Meanwhile, Houston would drop out of the wild card and would be a half game, or I think a game back anyway, of Seattle. So we shall see how things go. We'll check in around Major League Baseball here before we get to this game. But that's tonight's starters for the Texas Rangers, Dane Dunning, and the starter for the Angels is Griffin Canning. Lineup for your Texas Rangers is going to be Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Nathaniel Lowe, followed by Adolis Garcia, Josh Young, Jonah Heim. Pretty much the lineup we've seen all year long. This is probably the first time we've seen it like this since all of the players have gotten back healthy. We've seen them kind of juggle around Adolis Garcia and Josh Young, along with Jonah Heim and Nathaniel Lowe over the last couple of days, just trying to spark this offense going forward, especially as they try to recover from injury. After Jonah Heim, it'll be Mitch Garver once again in there at designated hitter. He's been probably their hottest hitter since the month of August began. Leody Taveras gets the start in center, of course, and Evan Carter is back in there in left field. For the LA Angels, as I said, it's going to be Griffin Canning on the mound for them. It's going to be Grichuk once again getting the leadoff, followed by Neto and Drury. Drury had the big 3-run home run last night to start things for them. Moustakas starts at the designated hitter spot after getting the day off, followed by Logan O'Hoppe, Joe Adell, Stefanik, the third baseman, Walsh in right, and Fletcher once again is in the lineup at second base. So that's kind of how your lineup goes for the Rangers and Angels. Again, all eyes are going to be on that Houston and Mariners game as well. If the Rangers win and Astros lose tonight, that magic number drops to 1, and Texas is pretty much all but assured of winning the AL West if that were to happen. Now, if Texas were to lose tonight, Houston wins. It'll be very interesting down the stretch here to see who ultimately wins, but it's very likely Texas will still ultimately get that AL West crown. If they do, they probably get the first round bye. Doesn't look like Minnesota's going to be able to have enough games left to catch them in the standings. So Texas will be very happy to get a first round bye here, while Houston will have to travel probably to either Tampa Bay or Minnesota in that first round matchup. So we'll see how the playoff scenarios kind of unfold. Let's kind of check out the leaderboard anyway, where the standings are at in the American League. Baltimore Orioles currently lead the American League East. They've clinched the division. They very likely will clinch home field advantage throughout anyway. Or excuse me, they haven't clinched the division. They've clinched a playoff spot anyway, but Tampa can still leapfrog them with if they were to win out anyway. But Texas is currently sitting in that second spot. First two teams, of course, are who get the bye in that wild card round. That's why Texas winning the division would be very important for them. This is literally a mash unit right now at that starting pitching spot for Texas. You have Dane Dunning pretty much as your number one, followed by Jordan Montgomery as kind of your 1B, if you will. And then Nathan Eovaldi is still trying to work his way back as far as from an endurance standpoint, lengthening him out. But he's pitched well since his return, had one really bad start, and that was his first game back against Houston. I don't believe he recorded an out in that one, but it was abysmal for the entire Texas team at that point. They fell back in the division race. Everybody thought that Houston was going to run away from the Texas Rangers at that point. But my, how the tables have turned. Houston has, I believe, lost 10 of their last 13 games. They got swept at home by the Kansas City Royals just a few nights ago. They are 1-1 so far in the series against Seattle, but we'll see how the game unfolds tonight. Tampa, of course, is in that first wild card spot, followed by Toronto. Game and a half over the Houston Astros for that final wild card spot, and then Houston holding on to that final spot, followed by Seattle at a half game back. The magic number for the Mariners to be eliminated is 5, so any combination of Houston wins or Mariners losses that result in 5 would result in Mariners missing out on the postseason once again. Houston probably has their best ace on their ace on the mound right now, depending on how you believe Justin Verlander or Framber Valdez, which one you think is their ace anyway. But Valdez goes tonight against Bryce Miller for the Mariners, so all eyes will be on that game. As far as the rest of these scenarios out there in the American League, everybody else has been eliminated. Yankees pretty much had an empty stadium the other night. My, how the Titans have fallen this year. Expect them to retool a little bit, but the question will be, how exactly are they going to do it with all the money they have committed? But they're going to have some interesting questions to answer about Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman. Boston put up a good fight this year. They were not expected to be very good. And they're right around 500, which is impressive for where they were considered to be to begin the season. On the National League side, all 3 division winners have clinched their scenarios right now. Braves very likely getting the top overall seed in the entire postseason. Dodgers getting that 2 spot. They will get that first round bye. Milwaukee will likely face either the Cubs or Marlins in that first round playoff matchup. Meanwhile, the Phillies have announced their Game 1 starter will be Zach Wheeler. Game 2 will be Aaron Nola in their wild card series, likely against the Diamondbacks. Philadelphia's quietly been probably one of the hottest teams since the beginning of July in all of baseball, and that's even over the Atlanta Braves. They're 8-2 in their last 10, and they look very formidable on the National League side once again. We'll see if they can catch lightning in a bottle and make it to the postseason, make it to the World Series all over again. Miami got thumped by the Mets in Game 1 today. I believe they were tied last time I saw. Earlier today against the Mets in Game 2. They were furious that the grounds crew wasn't able to cover the field in time yesterday that caused the postponement. And understandably, Marlins are in a playoff series, but Mets need to get their act together just to wrap up this season, honestly. Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets, issued an apology. Now for the biggest news out of baseball, at least from an injury standpoint today. X-rays came back negative for Corey Seager. He is healthy and back in the lineup. The same cannot be said for Chas McCormick. MRI X-rays came back clean for Chas McCormick, but he took a fastball into the back yesterday in that Houston and Seattle game. He is out of the lineup today. Michael Brantley starts for only the 8th time in the field for the Astros today. So we'll see if Chas McCormick is just needing a couple of days, and hopefully he's all right. But he's a big piece of what the Houston Astros are doing this time of year. So Seager is in the lineup for Texas. McCormick is out. That's kind of your hit-by-pitch update from yesterday. Now for Max Scherzer. We told you guys a couple of days ago that Scherzer was caught on the field by a reporter at just playing catch and wasn't told by anybody on the staff to do it, wasn't told by anybody in the training room that he was cleared to do it. It just caught everybody off guard that he actually would do this on his own. Everybody was told anyway that he was going to miss the entirety of the regular season. Very likely would miss the entirety of the postseason as well. And he threw because he said he had felt fine the previous couple days and just wanted to see if he could. He did. The team found out about it after the fact, or while he was doing it anyway. Monitored him the rest of the day and then checked on him the next day. And everything seemed fine with Max Scherzer. So the latest update today is he actually threw a light bullpen session today. Does that mean he's going to make a start before the end of the season? No. Does that mean he'll likely start in the ALDS? No. This is just the first step in the road to recovery for Max Scherzer. Rest was really the only thing needed for him to get back into the lineup, back into that starting rotation, just to see if he could rest and recover that triceps injury. And so far, so good. We'll see how he reacts tomorrow. But the light bullpen did go well today. He wasn't throwing max effort or anything like that. But they just wanted to see, since he threw, without any injury issues the other day, just playing catch, they wanted to see, well, maybe if we could just throw a pitch or two and just see what happens. I believe the count that he threw was around 20 pitches today, just to see how it would go. Again, none of these were max effort, so we'll see how the rest of it goes for Max Scherzer. Everybody's hoping for him to be in that postseason rotation for the Rangers. The Rangers have literally, like I said, to start this broadcast off, had a MASH unit as their starting pitching rotation pretty much since August 1st. Poor performance, poor timing with injuries, DeGrom being out for the majority of the year, Jake Odorizzi missing the entirety of the season, Martin Perez being terrible in the first half of the season, a good bullpen piece in the second half, Heaney struggling at times, John Gray out right now with a wrist issue. We'll see how his recovery goes if he misses time at all. But the Rangers do need to get some starters back. Hopefully Max Scherzer could return at some point in the postseason, but expecting him to be back at any specific time right now is a little too soon. We'll see if there's a setback at some point. But so far, so good. News is good for Rangers fans on the Max Scherzer front. And if they get him back by, say, the World Series, hey, you weren't expecting to have him at that point after he suffered that injury anyway. So good on the Rangers if they get him at that point. And if they get him even before that, I mean, that's just pure gravy at that point. So Rangers getting some positive news on Max Scherzer today. We'll see how the news is tomorrow after he threw today and see how his recovery goes from that bullpen session. So again, looks like a fun one here tonight. Rangers looking to rebound from that 9-3 thumping that they took at the hands of the Angels yesterday. Cody Bradford kind of took one on the chin for the team, followed by Chris Stratton as well. Jake Latz actually performed very well last night for the Texas Rangers. 2 1/3 innings. He actually was optioned down today. Another positive bit of news for the Texas Rangers is that they have activated Josh Sborz, who for a time was their 7th, 8th inning setup guy. And he struggled at a certain point anyway, as everybody did with the Texas Rangers in that bullpen in August. He has been out since the beginning parts of September, end of August anyway, but is a welcome addition to this bullpen. We'll see who they ultimately turn to before Aroldis Chapman in a save situation. Be curious to see how they decide to go with it. They don't really have any defined roles back there. Even Aroldis Chapman, as the closer, still has some caveats with that. Leclerc has gotten some saves. Will Smith, for the majority of the season, was a closer for the Texas Rangers. So we'll see how things go for Texas in that bullpen once they get to the postseason. But things are shaping up well for Texas right now from a health standpoint. They finally have their lineup back together and healthy for the first time since really the end of July. And we'll see if, now that they've got their full lineup back the way they wanted it from the beginning of the season, with the addition of Evan Carter into this lineup as well, how exactly they perform. So there's still the outside chance that they call up Wyatt Langford as well. I think that's probably on the back burner at this point. They want to get the bats that they have in the lineup, some regular at-bats. They're happy with the production they're getting from Jankowski and Grossman off the bench from an outfield perspective. So I think the only way Wyatt Langford comes up at this point is if somebody else goes down due to injury. I think your playoff lineup is pretty much set right now for the Texas Rangers. You look at the lineup right now on your screen. This is likely going to be your Game 1 lineup in the ALDS. Semien, Seager, Lowe, Garcia, Young, Heim, Garver, Tavares, and Carter. Looks like we're just about set there in LA. Got about 5 minutes till game time. Let us know in the comments section what you guys think of the return of the possible return of a Max Scherzer, what the return of Josh Sborz means to this bullpen, and how you think Will Smith's been doing recently. We saw him recently have some struggles with the long ball, walks, all those types of issues. Last night in a little bit of a blowout game, they wanted to get Will Smith some work, and his breaking ball looked back to normal, honestly. Of course, it's against the a quadruple A ball club, honestly, in the LA Angels, but it was still very effective nonetheless. And whether it was just him literally working specifically on that pitch or just wanting to have a successful outing, Will Smith was finally able to do that. Some positive news from Jonathan Hernandez is that he's actually locating his pitches. He's still giving up contact, which is fine. Rangers would live or will live with the contact. They cannot live with the walks that he was surrendering earlier this year. That's why he lost his setup role in the bullpen at the beginning of the season. But some positive news for the Texas Rangers. Let us know in the comments section what you guys think the Rangers bullpen looks like going into the postseason with some positive developments over the past week. We'll see how things go the rest of the way. The one issue for them in the bullpen that's kind of arisen over the past week is Chris Stratton, who is absolutely nails when everybody else in the bullpen was coughing every single thing up. But now it's Chris Stratton's turn to have a little bit of the yips, if you will. He's just not getting outs when he needs to. Yesterday he was a little bit more effective, still giving up a little bit too much contact, honestly. His location was better. He was limiting the walks, but he was not missing bats at all. And I'd imagine we're going to see Chris Stratton probably once or twice in that Seattle series to see if he can correct those issues. Bochy's gone to Stratton quite a bit since he's come to the Texas Rangers, so maybe it's just a matter of him being overworked. So if maybe the best solution is just letting him sit on the bench and rest. But he has not looked good in his last 3 or 4 outings now for the Texas Rangers. We'll see how he performs going forward. Again, this Texas Rangers rotation, looking out the postseason, likely going to have Dane Dunning and Jordan Montgomery as your 1 and 2 in the ALDS, and likely Nathan Eovaldi in that Game 3 spot. If Nathan Eovaldi was healthy going into August and September and was still pitching the way he was in the beginning of the season, he would be your Game 1 starter, but he has not looked the same since his injury issues. His last start in August was against the Tampa Bay Rays, and while he was very effective, only gave up 1 run, I believe, in that game. His velocity was down. We've seen him really kind of throw a lot of max effort pitches earlier this year, and that's kind of the issue he had last year with Boston. He just ran out of bullets, and so we'll see if that time off, the extended time off that we were originally told he was going to miss a start, they're just going to skip him in the rotation. Well, that skip him in 1 turn in the rotation turned into 6-7 weeks on the injured list, and now here we are with Nathan Eovaldi still trying to get back into shape here for the final stretch run. But it'll be Dane Dunning tonight, likely in Game 1 of the ALDS. That will likely be against the winner of that Houston-Seattle series tonight as well. If Seattle wins that game, it's very likely Seattle wins that final wild card spot, as the Rangers will be trying to get their guys some rest and just trying to keep the momentum going in that lineup. But they want to get some guys off the bench that have not had a lot of playing time recently, at least some at-bats here in the final few games of the season, just to make sure they're fresh and locked in for the postseason. We saw Josh Smith get an opportunity last night, hit a home run in the game to at least make it a 9-3 ball game. But we're going to likely see a lot more Travis Jankowski in center field than Leody Taveras over the final couple games of the season as well. Dane Dunning team's ranks anyway. He ranks 2nd on the team in wins this year with 11, has 162 and a third innings pitched, leads the team. So we'll see how things go. Welcome back, Pat. Good evening from a disheveled Cards fan. Well, I'll put it this way. Your Cardinals have had a long, successful run in the NL Central, and we'll see how they rebound from a tough year. They have not had too many tough years in St. Louis. Got 15 of you guys with us right now. Appreciate you guys joining us. Again, your lineup: Semien, Seager, Lowe, Garcia, Young, Heim, Garver, Taveras, and Carter for the Rangers. Looks like we're just about set. Griffin Canning gets the start for the Angels in the finale of this series. 121 innings so far this year in 21 starts. 4.39 earned run average. 134 strikeouts anyway to 34 walks, so he does have a good strikeout percentage. Batting average against, though, at 247. He will give up some base hits along the way. 4-pitch pitcher, really. 4-seam fastball, slider, changeup, and curveball. And Angels looking to win probably the last chance that they'll have to win a series here at the end of the season. First time ever finishing last in the division. Well, there's a first time for everything, Pat. You've had a lot of success for a long period of time. Every team has to take their lumps, and for the longest of times, the Cardinals have missed missed out on that wonderful experience that is the rebuild process. Not saying that the Cardinals are going to go into a rebuild. I do think they have a lot of talent there, but this year was not a good one. From start to finish, they struggled with their starting pitching, inconsistencies in both the lineup, the rotation, and the bullpen. One thing would start working, the other would stop, and they do have some good pieces, Goldschmidt, Arenado, but we'll see how things finish up. Rangers currently have a 2.5 game lead in the AL West as we are just about to get underway. Marcus Semien digging into the box. And we are underway. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. First pitch here from Griffin Canning. Misses well outside ball one, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. His most used pitch in his arsenal. Semien has 28 home runs on the year. He would really like to get to 30, I am sure. He's also 2 RBIs away from 100. I'm sure he's got some contract escalators in there that will help him out as well as far as financially. So those are some numbers to keep an eye on the rest of the way. Welcome back, Jesus. Yes, it was. Certainly a better day than yesterday. I did not have to work today, so that's always good. Tomorrow will be a significant day. Got some bigwigs coming in from home office anyway tomorrow, so that'll be fun. 2-1 now the count here to Marcus Semien as that one finds the zone. The pitch, hard hit, right field. This one will get down in front of Walsh, and Semien is aboard with a base hit, much like he did last night. He got the scoring started for the Rangers last night with a double. Corey Seager digging in now. Corey Seager does like to jump on the fastball early, so we'll see if they go off speed. I don't think Luken Baker is an MLB ready player. I agree. First pitch here is fouled off. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Seager a .332 average. Right up there in that MVP conversation. 1 and 2 with Shohei Ohtani. 33 home runs, 96 RBIs. I'm sure he would like to get to that 100 RBI threshold as well. This one's lifted high in the air. Medium center field anyway. Adele jogs over 3 or 4 steps. Makes the catch. And that's the first out of the inning. Good thing for the Rangers, though, is that he's back in the lineup after taking a fastball off of his wrist yesterday. Real concern at the time for the Rangers because he immediately started to walk towards the dugout, stopped at the railing, kind of took his time there, and it looked like for a time he was going to come directly out of the game, which is not a good sign, especially when you see him walk directly to the bench. But he stayed in there, and everything came back clean. Looks like it's mainly a pain tolerance thing here and a big bruise more than anything else. Same thing for the Astros, Chas McCormick. Everything came back clean, but he is out of the lineup today. So giving him some rest. That's why Brantley's in the lineup for the Astros tonight. 1-0 now to Nathaniel Lowe. Second pitch anyway is lifted foul. One thing I'd like Nathaniel Lowe to do the rest of the way is, or even in the offseason, is really try to take advantage of how they're pitching him. Sometimes he's too, complacent. He likes to roll over the ball sometimes, especially here in the month of September. He's just trying to sell out for the right-handed swing. When he's on his game anyway, he's taking the ball the other way, but there's some opportunities that he could learn from Corey Seager, is just taking advantage of those fastballs high, taking advantage of those fastballs in, and driving them, in deep into right field, out of the ballpark, those kinds of things, and then that would then precipitate a change in his two-strike approach to allow him to go the other way. Nathaniel Lowe doesn't seem to have a consistent approach as to how he wants to go about it. Everything right now, he tries to go right up the middle or tries to pull it. He's not trying to go the other way with it anymore. And there he just looks overmatched by the off-speed pitch once again and gets struck out there by Griffin Canning for the second out of the inning. Welcome in, Lucelle. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce the name. LaPointe anyway. Hope you're having a good day as well. How do you feel about Joe Adele hitting a home run today? I wouldn't count on it. I'll put it this way. I don't think he's going to hit one off of Dane Dunning. Um, I just, the Rangers, don't get me wrong, he can give up a long ball, but I just don't think this is the game for him to get a home run. I'm guessing you have a parlay part on that. Strike one here to Adolis. 243 average, 37 home runs, and 104 RBIs. Nice fastball in there by Canning, and he's quickly ahead 0-2. I do think the Angels can get a couple of home runs in today's game, especially against the bullpen, but against Dane Dunning, I think he's going to be a very effective starter for the Rangers today. This is his final start of the regular season, a tune-up for his first start in the postseason. So I'm sure he's going to be more than a little locked in today. The 0-2 pitch here. Eventually. Fouled off by Garcia, and we'll do it again. Appreciate you guys joining us once again. In case you guys are wondering about the NL wild card, the Reds lost today against the Cleveland Guardians. They're basically one game, or their magic number to be eliminated is now 1. It's not looking good for them to make the postseason, but they should have a chance next year with those younger guys getting some more experience. So everybody's playoff positioning getting tighter and tighter. Margin of error is smaller and smaller. 1-2 now to Garcia. The set, and time requested here by Garcia. Astros and Mariners still scoreless in the top of the first there. We'll be checking in quite a bit on both games, as both games are significant to both playoff positioning in the American League West, who wins the division, and who gets that final wild card spot, whether it be Houston, Texas, or Seattle. Hard hit ball, left field. This one will go all the way to the wall. Nice hard hit ball there by Garcia. Semien chugging around third. He will be sent home. I don't know why Grichuk didn't field that a little quicker. Maybe he was just shifted around so much, but I don't know. I thought he would have had a chance to at least keep Semien there at third base. Instead, it's going to be a stand-up double for Adolis Garcia, and it's a quick 1-0 Rangers lead, just like last night. So we'll see how this goes for Texas, if they're able to hold the 1-run lead this time, as opposed to giving up a 3-run home run last night in the bottom half of the first inning to Brandon Drury. That's just pure speed, though, by Semien. I think he got around those bases really quick. On second look of how Grichuk played it, I mean, he didn't play it too badly, but it was just the speed of Semien. He was gone. There was no way they were going to catch him at the plate when you look at that replay. Josh Young takes strike one. 271 hitter. Would like to see him get a little bit more consistent making contact here in the final week of the season. In his return from injury, takes an off-speed pitch, middle, and he swings underneath it with a mighty swing. And it's now 0-2. Takes his time here. Rangers on top here in the early going on the strength of an Adolis Garcia double, his 105th RBI of the season. The 0-2 pitch to Josh Young, down in the dirt. Garcia stays there at second base. Welcome in, Ryan. Rangers are off to a good start here. For those of you who are Rangers fans, I know I'm here in Texas, so I'm getting quite a few Astros and Rangers fans watching my stream, so really appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. I know a lot of you guys struggle finding Bally on any other provider nowadays. I think they're only on, 2 or 3 different actual providers, as Josh Young chases a really bad breaking ball well outside of the zone for the third out of the inning. Another strikeout there for Canning. 2 in the inning. We go to the bottom of the first, 1-0 on the strength of that RBI double by Adolis Garcia. It'll be Grichuk, Neto, and Drury for the Angels in the bottom half of the first. Let's check in on that Astros and Mariners game. Like I said, we're going to be checking in quite a bit on that one. Looks like the Astros... Wow. Altuve had a fly out to right. Bregman walked. and I guess he was trying to steal second base and got picked off. Well, it was a pickoff attempt to throw over to first, and I guess they caught him too far off the base for the second out of the inning, and then Alvarez was struck out on 4 pitches. So, good start for the Rangers. Astros held scoreless in their half of the first inning. Meanwhile, the Rangers score in their half of the first. So, looking up for the Rangers right now. If the result holds in Anaheim anyway, in the LA Angels game, you're looking at a magic number down to 2. If the Astros lose tonight, that magic number is down to 1. Any loss by the Astros would mean the Rangers clinch the division. Any win by the Rangers would mean the Rangers clinch the division. Other playoff significant games anyway are that Marlins and Mets game. Marlins right now sit a game out of that wild card spot in that NL wild card race, tied at 2 with the Mets after they got clubbed earlier in the game, or earlier in the day in game 1. Cubs right now tied at 4 in the bottom of the ninth anyway against Atlanta. Minnesota 4-4 against Oakland. Arizona won against the White Sox. As I mentioned, they got clubbed earlier. Mets winning 11-2. Mentioned that Reds game as well, as Dane Dunning is on the mound. And first pitch here to Grichuk is a strike on the outer half of the plate. Uh-oh. Leadoff home run, J.P. Crawford in the Houston Astros Seattle Mariners game. Mariners off to a 1-0 lead off of Framber Valdez. Wow, what a start for Seattle there as they fight for their playoff lives. They are tied in the loss column with the Astros. A win tonight means they are in that final wild card spot. What a start for the Mariners. J.P. Crawford with a home run. Meanwhile, in our game, Dane Dunning 1-2 now to Grichuk. That one finds its way well outside of the zone. 2-2. Things looking really good right now for Texas as the Mariners have taken that 1-0 lead in that Astros game. The 2-2 pitch. This one lined, well, I'll say lined / flied out to right. Garcia backpedals a few steps and makes the catch a few paces in front of the warning track for the first out of the bottom half of the first inning. Dunning this year in 24 starts, 33 games, has a 3.88 earned run average, 129 strikeouts to 53 walks, has a 254 batting average against, but he's been very effective pitching around hard contact, avoiding the big hit. Every now and again when he starts to struggle, he misses location, gives up walks, and then doesn't miss barrels. That's how you know when Dunning is on versus off. You can tell it fairly quickly in the game. So far, he looks good today as he gets a nice off-speed pitch, a swing and miss by Zach Neto, and it's quickly 0-2 as Neto takes time here. Neto hitting .224, 9 homers, 34 RBIs. As I mentioned, J.P. Crawford for the Mariners hit that home run to get things started for the Mariners. Meanwhile, Texas has a 1-0 lead on the strength of that Adolis Garcia double. The 0-2 pitch here by Dunning. Swing and a miss. A 3-pitch strikeout. Dunning looks like he's got it going early. 2 away here in the bottom half of the first inning. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter at UpsideSN, or on X if you will, whatever they want to call themselves now. First pitch here to Brandon Drury. Misses low and away. Drury likes to take his time early in the at-bat. Drury hitting .260 on the year, 24 home runs, a big one last night for them to get them started against Texas. That one finds the zone 1-1. And again, he takes this one right at the knees. 1-2 now as he takes his time. Dunning looking for a shutdown inning here after the Rangers took the lead in the top half. Again, this is likely going to be your Game 1 starter in the ALDS. most likely against the winner of that series in Seattle anyway, between Seattle and Houston. The 1-2 pitch misses well outside, low and away. 2-2 is the count. Always got to watch Drury's reactions when he is struck out, so we'll see how this goes if he does. Oh, nice pitch there, right at the knees on the outer half of the plate. No argument this time from Drury. One of the few times I've not seen him turn around and at least have a few words for the umpire after a called strikeout. But in either event now, Texas, through one, leads it 1-0 in LA. Let's check in on that Mariners game. They're still in the bottom half of the first inning. They already had a mound visit here. Looks like he walked Julio Rodriguez immediately after that, and now has thrown 3 straight balls to Eugenio Suarez. Valdez looking like he's getting a little shaken up here. That's one thing I've noticed with Framber Valdez. When he loses it, he loses it. We saw that in the start he had against Texas earlier this year in Houston. We saw that a couple of starts ago. I can't remember who they were playing, but in the 5th inning he had been locked down for 5 innings, 4 innings plus anyway, and then that 5th inning they finally got to him, and it was just the floodgates completely open. There was no fight left, and this would be good news for Texas. Back-to-back walks now. Eugenio Suarez now actually takes the walk there. Teoscar Hernandez, who's been one of their best players in the second half, digs in. This is a must-have game for Houston because if they lose it, remember, they will be in the outside of the playoff picture looking in if they lose today in Seattle. And another one misses. Another ball in the dirt. Not taking advantage of a hitter who likes to swing and giving him a competitive pitch. As you see the replay right now on Bally Sports of that J.P. Crawford home run. And it is one raucous crowd by the looks of it in Seattle. 2-0, finally a strike there to Teoscar Hernandez. Meanwhile, Rangers are back in there. Jonah Heim digging in. 261 average, hit a couple of made some hard contact yesterday in the game against the Angels. Fouls that one back. This one misses high, and it's 1-1 now. The set by Canning, and the pitch. Nice pitch. Fastball up and in. Just missed the zone, but Heim gave it a mighty swing. Checked with the umpire to make sure where that pitch was, and takes his time. Digs back into the box. Looks like we're set here. And the pitch. Another high fastball. Looks like they were trying to go low and in with it, but missed location, but it worked. Heim did not make contact. That's the first out of the inning. Canning missing location rather effectively on that one. Meanwhile, Mitch Garver digs in. Has 19 home runs on the year. He's going to get a hefty contract in free agency, I am sure. Probably in the 3 to 5 year range. Quite the resurgent year for him after he's missed significant time the last year and a half due to injury. Got a slow start earlier this year, but basically since middle of July anyway, he's been the Rangers' best hitter in the lineup, most consistent player. Certainly in the month of August. Literally carried that team through some of their toughest games. 1-1 here to Garver. Misses outside, 2-1. Canning up to 26 pitches through an inning and a third. Looking to finish his season on a high note for them. The 2-1 pitch. Tapped foul outside of third base. 2-2. The set by Canning and the pitch. Looks like he went with the slider, hard hit, served into left once again, just over the head of the third baseman, and another base hit for Mitch Garver. He's been on some type of streak with that exact type of base hit right now. When he's not getting the home runs, he's certainly getting those type of base hits and causing frustrating innings for the opposing pitcher. Canning has a good start so far today, but he's certainly had his fair share of the Rangers this year. He would love to see anybody else in that batter's box at this point. Giving up a lot of contact. Probably the biggest reason why his ERA is so high is because he's faced the Rangers so much. Tavares takes strike one, hitting .271, 13 home runs, and 65 RBIs. This one's tapped foul of first base, and it's quickly 0-2. Tavares is one player I'm expecting to get some time off here in the final couple of days of the season. He just doesn't look like the same Leody Tavares as when he got back fresh from injury earlier, back from spring training. It took him some time to get fully back in the swing of things, but he was one of the best Rangers hitters from basically the middle of April all the way up until the All-Star break, maybe a little bit before that. He had a legitimate case to be an All-Star this year, and I don't think it's going to happen very often in his career, which is why I thought this would have been the year for him to get the nod in center. But it just didn't happen, and Adolis Garcia, Leody Tavares certainly had a precipitous fall, much like the rest of the Rangers' offense did over the past month and a half. This one misses well north of the zone. Kind of a leaping catch there by the catcher. 1-2 now to Tavares. 31 pitches so far. Just gets that one off in the nick of time, but misses well north of the zone again. Wears some long sleeves underneath his jersey there. I don't know how cold it is in September in LA, but I guess it's cold enough. 2-2. Just off the outside corner. Gets a kind of a half-hearted swing from Tavares, as I'm guessing he thought it was going to be strike three anyway, but that'll be another strikeout for Canning, his third of the game. Or is that four? 4 strikeouts now. He got Heim earlier, that's right. 2 away here. Mitch Garver on first base. It'll be Evan Carter due up. Very patient hitter as well. Had more walks than strikeouts in the minors so far this year. And he's been nothing but lightning in this Rangers lineup since he's been called up. Takes strike one there, hitting .319, 4 homers, 10 RBIs, and over 1,000 OPS. That one misses north of the zone again. Canning shaking his arm. Wondering if that long sleeve shirt is causing him to miss his release point a little bit. The 1-1, and that one misses. 2-1 here to Evan Carter. He will be an everyday player for the Rangers next year. I'm really hoping they don't platoon him like they're doing right now here at the end of the season with Robbie Grossman. I want to see him in the lineup every single day because that's the only way you're going to get better against left-handed pitching as a left-handed hitter is to face left-handed pitching. So if they're going to have him up on the big club right now, I would have him playing every day. A strike on the outside corner, bounces off the glove of O'Hop. 2-2 now. Mariners were held to just the 1 run in their bottom half of the first inning. It's now 1-0 in the top half of the second as we keep our eyes on that one. The 2-2. That one misses inside by about 2 or 3 inches. Good take there. Full count now, 2 away, so Garver will be off with the pitch. Defense makes their signs to make the play at first base. The set by Canning. And the pitch. Misses just outside, and that'll be another walk for Evan Carter. He is not afraid to take pitches right now. He's struck out a few times looking so far since he's been called up, but he's also gotten his fair share of walks. He looks very comfortable in the batter's box. Safe to say he does not feel overmatched at all. And another RBI opportunity for Marcus Semien. Most RBIs from the leadoff spot in MLB history. He's at 98. The biggest is Mookie Betts this season with 105, and Ronald Acuna also this season at 103. So we'll see if he's able to catch up to some of those guys. Of course, those are MVP candidates. Marcus Semien slugging .742 over his last 8 games. And he's also been on a hot streak from the home run perspective. If he launches one here, that would get him over 100. This first one misses down in the dirt. Runners will hold. Nice backhand stab at it by O'Hop. Doesn't allow that ball to get away. Good opportunity for Semien to break this one open a little bit for Texas. This one also misses down in the dirt. Another slider, another beautiful backhand pick by O'Hop. Just this new way of catching is just trying to catch it off the bounce in your glove. You remember back in the days of Benji Molina, Yadier Molina, all the other great catchers in the past, they would literally lean forward to try to keep the ball in front of them. These guys are trying to pick it clean and have a chance to throw somebody who might be taking an extra step or two off of a base. That one probably was ball 3, but right at the bottom of the zone in either event, Marcus Semien swung on and missed. Had a good cut at that one. 2-1 is the count here. 2 away in the top of the second inning. Garver is out there at second base. Carter, who just drew that walk, is at first. Again, right as the pitch clock's expiring, Griffin Canning delivers. Nice pitch there. Middle fastball. 2-2. Semien looked like he was taking all the way on that one. The set and the pitch. Tapped foul of third base, and we'll do it again. Got 26, 27 of you guys with us right now. Appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We really do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Gained quite a few over the last couple of weeks anyway. But we're going to bring you a lot more baseball here as the season winds down in these final few days. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off once again by Marcus Semien, hanging tough. That one was ball 3, but kind of an excuse me, self-defense swing there by Semien. In either event, he stays alive. A little scary though when you think back to yesterday's at bat for Corey Seager when he took it off of the wrist on a very similar type of situation. Two-two pitch once again. Fouled off, kind of a lunging swing there just to make sure he made contact. Not trying to do anything big with it, just foul it off and live for another pitch. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat here. Either way, this has been a successful inning for the Rangers, getting that pitch count for Canning up. This is pitch number 47. 8th pitch of the at-bat is fouled off once again by Marcus Semien. We will see a 9th pitch. That one was a hard hit, though. If he's able to straighten that one out just a little bit, that probably scores at least 1. And with the speed of Carter at first base, there would have been a chance for a second run to come in. Good off-speed pitch. A little bit off the end of the bat there for Semien. The 2-2 once again. Swung on and missed. Nice pitch at the bottom of the strike zone. Semien swings over the top And that's the third out of the inning. 5 strikeouts through 2 innings for Griffin Canning. Impressive so far. Only allowed the 1 run. 3 hits so far for Texas, no errors. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Angels. We go to the bottom half of the second. Rangers lead it 1-0. Checking in on that Houston Astros and Seattle Mariners score. They're still in the top half of the second inning. Checking in on where they are at. Looks like Tucker grounded out. Abreu struck out, and then a 2-out double by Brantley, who again is in the lineup for Chas McCormick, who got hit by the pitch in the back yesterday. He is being held out to recover / as a precaution. Sounds like x-rays and MRIs came back clean for him, but I'm guessing it's still pretty painful. It's an 0-2 count on Dubon for the Astros, their center fielder today. Rangers remember Bryce Miller. They just faced him in the last series against Seattle. Got the victory there. Now they're turning around and cheering on Bryce Miller today, because if they win, again, Texas' magic number drops down to 1 if the results hold as they are right now. Seattle in front on the strength of a J.P. Crawford home run to lead off the game for the Mariners in the bottom half of the first inning. Meanwhile, Texas is in front of the Angels on a RBI double by Adolis Garcia in the first. Checking in on some of the other scores, looks like the Cubs have taken a 1-run lead against Atlanta. They really need every single win right now. It's a very tough race between the Cubs and Marlins for that final wild card spot in the National League. Marlins still tied at 2 versus the Mets, it looks like. Kind of your update from around Major League Baseball of playoff baseball contending teams, if you will. Dane Dunning back out there facing Mike Moustakas. This one just off the plate inside. 1-0. Moustakas on the year hitting .252, 12 homers, 47 RBIs. Another off-speed pitch right at the top of the zone, 1-1. Dunning's working really well, working around the periphery of the strike zone today. That looked like a fastball on the inside corner. Looking to jam him there with a 1-2 pitch here by Dunning. Nice job there. The off-speed pitch low and away gets him to chase for another strikeout. Dunning's got 3 strikeouts. Both pitchers becoming quite the strikeout artists here today. Griffin Canning has 5. Dane Dunning already has 3. 8 strikeouts so far in the game. Whoever had the over-under on 20 strikeouts combined, I think you're going to hit. That one misses outside. 1-0. Hop hitting .234, 13 home runs, 27 RBIs. Again, missed almost the majority of the season, almost the entirety of the season, after suffering an injury only a couple of weeks in. Only just recently got back and healthy. Safe to say their season, again, would have been very different if he had been healthy the whole way. 2-0 now the count, and that one finds the outside corner. 2-1. Again, the one thing this coaching staff wants for the Texas Rangers pitchers is just not give up the walk. So Bochy looked a little frustrated with the back-to-back balls there to begin this at bat. Safe to say he's satisfied after that one's fouled off now. It's now 2-2. Here to Hop. Working quickly, Dunning delivers, and this one's fouled off again. We'll do it over. Dunning looking for his 4th strikeout already. He was certainly not a strikeout pitcher coming into the season. Even earlier this year was not considered a strikeout pitcher. Over the last month, he's certainly become one of the best strikeout pitchers the Rangers have this year, as O'Hop flies out to right, 2nd out of the inning. Max Scherzer, you thought would have probably led the team in strikeouts in the month of September, but he's not healthy. Same thing with Jacob deGrom. He's not healthy. And in case you guys just joined us, the update for Max Scherzer is he threw by himself on over the weekend anyway, and a reporter caught him, and the team didn't clear it, but the team basically found out about it at the time while it was going on and said, hey, you're healthy enough to throw, Why don't we try to throw you in a bullpen session? So they did that. Went well today, so we'll see how his recovery goes tomorrow. If he's suffering any pain or any negative reactions to throwing that light bullpen session. Not max effort at all, only like 20 pitches. First time he's thrown a pitch since the injury. 1-1 the count as that one is bounced in the dirt there. 2-1 is the count now here to Joe Adell. LaPointe, I know you're watching this at bat fairly closely, hoping for that home run. Off-speed pitch drilled into foul territory, and it's now 2-2. The set and the pitch. Off the end of the bat, lifted high into the air. Seager out just onto the outfield grass and makes the catch for the third out of the inning. Through 2, Texas leads it 1-0 over the LA Angels. Checking in on that Houston Astros game once again, looks like Houston unfortunately did not strike in that one for them. Dubon struck out to end the inning. And then in the bottom half of the second, Cal Raleigh looks like he was the first out of the inning on a ground out. Valdez up to 33 pitches, had struggled with walks in the last half inning. Haggerty, the DH, is at bat now for the Mariners. 2-2 the count on him. Rangers again paying very close attention to this one because if Houston loses, pretty much guarantees them that they're going to win the AL West. Very unlikely that Houston loses all 4 of the or Texas loses all 4 of the remaining games on their schedule. Even in Seattle, when they're not going with the full bore into the postseason, of course. But Mariners certainly looking to get one up here on the Astros. Haggerty holding tough. They're really making Valdez work tonight so far from what I've seen. Astros do have a formidable bullpen, so we got to keep an eye out for that. In commercial break right now of the Rangers game, so don't worry, we're catching up on both games as both of these games are significant for the AL West crown. And another walk by Valdez. That's got to be, what, his third walk of the game so far through an inning and a third? Eek. Not what the Astros bench boss was hoping for, Dusty Baker. Seager takes the first pitch, lifts it high into left field, and once again, the out is recorded. Seager not being very patient as always. And I think the pitchers are finally starting to notice. Looks like the Yankees have gone final now, 6-0 over the Blue Jays. Blue Jays also in that wild card race. They have not clinched a playoff spot yet, but they are a game and a half up on Houston. That one misses north of the zone here to Nathaniel Lowe. 1-0 is the count there. That one misses again, just a little high. 2-0. Lowe is one of the more patient hitters in this Rangers lineup. But again, when he gets his pitch, I would like to see him make the adjustment this offseason to attack just a little more. Maybe not nearly as much as Corey Seager, because he ambushes literally everything. But just enough to recognize when his pitch is in that sweet spot and just go for it. 2-1 the count now, and this one's fouled off. 2-2. Canning already looking for his 6th strikeout. This one's fouled back once again, and we'll do it over. showing the AL wildcard race. Now that the Blue Jays losing, they are 1 game up on the Astros. If the Mariners win tonight, they will be a half game back of the Blue Jays for that second wild card. The reason why that's important, that would mean Toronto would face. Right now they're scheduled to face the Rays. If they lose and the Mariners leapfrog them, then it will be Toronto facing Minnesota. That would be a fun series. 3-2 now the count to Nathaniel Lowe. Hard hit, but right to the second baseman. And Lowe is retired for the second out of the inning. Up to Adolis next, who had that RBI double his last time up. Swings and misses at that one. Good healthy rip by Garcia. Just showed a graphic on the screen that Griffin Canning against the Rangers, his first time through the lineups, not very successful. The second time through the lineup has been absolutely abysmal for him against Texas this year. Looking for some retribution right now. Up to 58 pitches through 2 2/3 so far. 0-2 the count now on Garcia as this one misses in the dirt. 1-2 now. The set and the pitch. Lifted foul. Another fastball just above the zone. Garcia looks like he's locked in right now on Canning. I'm expecting an off-speed pitch here. See if Garcia can handle those. And he takes time instead. Just didn't feel quite right standing in that batter's box. Instead resets everything. And an off-speed pitch right at the bottom of the zone. Fouled off once again by Adolis. Nice work there. I think Adolis realized he was getting a little fastball leaning. Realized that what was coming and he wasn't geared up for it, so he called time there. Resetting himself. Looks a lot more comfortable in the box than he did before, right before he called time. That one misses well outside, 2-2. And again, another long, deep count here for Griffin Canning. Another soft changeup, low and away, fouled off here by Adolis. We'll see an 8th pitch to this at bat. Very similar to how the last half inning ended versus Marcus Semien in a long at bat. Griffin Canning smiling now at Adolis tapping that one foul. He's like, come on, man. Just hit it in fair territory. I don't care if it's a base hit at this point. Canning in the first threw 19 pitches. In the second, 29. 15 so far in this one. And another foul ball by Adolis Garcia on another changeup by Canning. This one was middle. Garcia wanted to have that one back. Pounded that one pretty much straight down into the dirt behind home plate. Canning takes a little walk around the mound, getting himself sorted out. The 2-2. Just a little low and away. Did not miss by much. Canning really wanted that. Took about 2 steps towards the dugout. Asked the home plate umpire, was that away? Is that why you called it a ball? Just to get verification on why it wasn't called a strike. This will be the 10th pitch at the at-bat. 3-2. And Adolis did not miss this one. An absolute missile. Line shot over the center field wall. And Joe Adell just kind of does this as it goes over the wall. Like, come on, man. And that's the 38th home run of the season for Adolis Garcia. 106 RBIs. 108 off the bat. And that went 407 feet. Adolis Garcia again just taking over a game for the Texas Rangers. Second time in about a week that we've seen Adolis literally just changed the outcome of a game single-handedly. The 2-0 win over the Mariners over the weekend was another game where he was literally everything for the Rangers, both offensively, defensively, and on the bases. So far today, has both RBIs. With that home run, he's now tied for second in the American League with 38 home runs. Josh Young swings and misses at strike one, but that was well outside. This one bounces in the dirt outside, and it's now 1-1. Young with 70 RBIs, third among AL rookies, considering he missed 6 weeks of the season with that thumb injury. Very impressive that he's still that high up there in the ranks. Tells you just how good of a rookie campaign he was having. He was the AL Rookie of the Month for April and May. Still has a chance to be the Rookie of the Year in my opinion, but I think in the national voters' mind, they're very likely to go with somebody who played a little bit more than Josh Young did. The 6 weeks that he missed, really hurt him as far as his candidacy to win the Rookie of the Year in my mind on the national scale. Now, if he had come back and, hit 10 home runs so far since he's come back, we'd be talking about him being a really high-end candidate right now for Rookie of the Year, but I just don't think he's forced himself back into that conversation enough for the national media to really vote for him more like they would have been earlier this year. The 2-2 pitch, little soft tapper on to third. Oh, and a poor throw over to first, but still gets the tag. And that's the third out of the inning. Through 2.5, Texas leads it 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Texas. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-0. Checking in on that Seattle and Houston game. We left off where Haggerty had walked. Caballero, the number 9 hitter, struck out while Haggerty had a stolen base. And then we saw another walk by Framber Valdez, number 4 on the day for them. Walked J.P. Crawford, who homered to get things started for Seattle. And then J.P. Rodriguez, JP's the Rangers. Anyway, Julio Rodriguez struck out to end the inning for the M's. In the top half of the third, looks like Pena was the first out of the inning on a ground out to first base, and that's where we sit right now. Seattle leading 1-0 against Houston at home. Again, all eyes are on both of these games out in the American League West. Rangers win and an Astros loss means that magic number is down to 1. What is a magic number? That is how many your total number of combined wins or losses from the team following you for you to clinch your playoff spot. So that's where the Rangers are at right now. If they get a combination of a victory and Astros loss tonight, that magic number drops down to 1. The win would be 1, so 3 minus 1 is 2. The loss by the Astros would be another 1, so 2 minus 1 would be 1. And so all they would need is one more Astros loss or one more Rangers win the rest of the season, which goes through the weekend on Sunday, and they would be the winners of the American League West for the first time in a significant period of time. Maldonado flies out there. 2 away in the top of the third for Houston. Looks like Dane Dunning is just about ready to throw his first pitch here in the bottom of the third. And that one's a fastball right on the outer half of the plate. Stefanik takes that one all the way, 0-1. That one misses a little further outside now. That one's now 1-1. Dunning using a lot of soft stuff here early. Trying to take advantage of this young Astros lineup. Another pitch just beneath the zone. Missed location just a hair. And it's now 2-1. Dunning up to 32 pitches through 2+ innings so far. This one's lined out into right. Adolis comes in. Oh my God, I'm guessing he lost it in the lights at the very last second. That looked like an easy play for him. Instead, Tavares is going to have to get it all the way to the wall. This is going to go for a triple in what should have been the first out of the inning. I'm guessing Adolis just lost it. At first, it looked like it might get down, but Adolis got there in plenty of time and then just couldn't see it in the bank of lights, it looks like. Yep, You could see him at the very last second pick up the ball. Looks like it crossed. The way Adolis reacted, it looks like it crossed into a bank of lights, and he just lost it for a split second, and then caught the ball out of the corner of his eye at the last second. Realized he was a little too high for it and missed the catch. Well, the home run that he hit the last half inning, all that much more important now after he lost that one in the lights. It's now 0-1 here to Walsh, hitting 127 on the year. Strike one at the top, or strike two anyway, at the top of the zone. 0-2. That one did not miss by much, just beneath the zone on the inner half of the plate. 1-2 the count now. Rangers lead it on the string. Oh, they're going to call it an error. Usually when a player loses it in the lights, they let it go. Like if it bounces off their glove, sure. But I don't think that one actually bounced off his glove. I think that one just went straight all the way past him. In either event now, it's runner on third with nobody out. 1-2 the count now after Walsh fouls that one off. That one misses well inside now. 2-2. Got 30 of you guys with us now. Appreciate it. I know a lot of you guys struggle finding the baseball game nowadays with all the issues Bally Sports has had as far as how to find it, even on your local TV package. I know I've had to play hoop to hoops just to get the game. Swung on and missed. Nice strikeout there by Dunning. That's his fourth of the game. Fletcher, the number 9 hitter, coming up. Hitting .234 on the year. Fouls the first pitch into the glove of Jonah Heim for strike one. Fletcher does have 2 home runs on the year, 11 RBIs. The set and the pitch by Dunning. Another fastball right at the top of the zone. He's located that pitch well so far today. Fouled off by Fletcher. 0-2 the count. This one misses low and away. 1-2. Remember the pass ball / wild pitch from last night? Jonah Heim just let it clank off of him and allowed a run to score in that 5-run fifth for the Angels. That was the inning that really kind of blew the doors wide open for them and was the end of the game really for Texas. Good stop this time. Ground ball, I say a line shot. A short hop right to the first baseman, Nathaniel Lowe. Steps on first base and looks the runner back to third. 2 away, and they might be able to get out of this without surrendering a run. Randall Grichuk is up next. Again, Dunning gets a first pitch strike as this one's fouled off by Grichuk. Came over in a trade from the Colorado Rockies and then has since been put on waivers twice. And you can see him really trying to have a strong end to the season. Really seems locked in lately, especially in this series, hitting .320 in the last 6 games. 4 doubles, 5 strikeouts, and a couple of walks. Nice pitch there by Dunning. Another, I guess we'll call it a cutter, on the outer half of the plate. 0-2 now. Looking for his 5th strikeout of the game. Pitch number 46 coming. Fouled back behind home plate, and we'll do it again. Dunning's been executing very well so far today. You look at his ball to strike ratio there, 46 pitches, 32 of them strikes. Another chance to strike out a batter here. This could be his 5th strikeout. The set by Dunning. And the pitch, nice pitch, low and away. Not a very hittable pitch there for Grichuk, but he swings and misses anyway. That's the 5th strikeout for Dane Dunning now through 3 innings, and they're able to squander the Angels' chances there, getting a runner to third with nobody out, and they don't allow the run to score. Big victory there for the Rangers in this game. And they take the 2-0 lead to the 4th. 2 runs, 4 hits. Still 1 error on the board for Texas. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Angels. Checking in on that Houston-Seattle game. Still 1-0 there. After Maldonado flied out, Altuve got a base hit, and then Bregman grounded out there. The force out at second of Altuve. And so far in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, Eugenio Suarez struck out. What a surprise. He's got a ton of strikeouts. Teoscar Hernandez is up next for the Mariners. Story for me, though, out of this game is that Valdez has given up 4 walks so far to Mariner hitters and gave up that leadoff home run in the bottom half of the 1st inning to J.P. Crawford to really get things started for them. Just checking to see where the pitchers are. Miller through 3 innings is at 46 pitches. Valdez through 2 1/3 is at 55 pitches. Has an 0-2 count now on Hernandez as well. So if you're rooting for the Mariners tonight and hoping Valdez gets out of there quickly, looks like they're really making Valdez work tonight. So that could work in your favor. But of course, that Astros bullpen is a very good bullpen now. Or has the potential to be, I should say. Looks like we're back in L.A. Jonah Heim digging back in. Struck out his first time. Takes outside for ball 1. Career high for Jonah Heim this year with 18 home runs. I'm sure he would love to get up to 20 before the end of the year. The 1-0. Off the end of the bat, lifted into deep center. On the warning track is Adele, with a little bit of room there, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Canning certainly is having a good start today for the Angels. His best start, you'd have to say, against the Texas Rangers so far this year. Garver digging in, 1 for 1 on the day so far. Had that base hit to left in his first at bat. Kind of how it started yesterday. It was a base hit for Garver early and then walked in his second. We'll see if that holds today. Garver in his last 6 games has an OPS of 1,373. That's redonkulous. Safe to say, he's definitely firing on all cylinders. Hard hit ball, foul, 1-1. Missed a home run by about 30 feet, 40 feet. The 1-1 here to Garver. Well up and in, kind of looks like a breaking ball that just kind of slipped out of the hand of Canning. Last thing the Rangers need right now is another hit batter. The issue with Corey Seager last night, that one would have been up towards the face of Garver if it had hit him. The 2-1 clipped high into the air. O'Hop, the catcher, making the catch there. Nice work there. Did not actually lose the mask as he shares a smile with his bench. 2 away here in the top of the 4th. And last hope for the Rangers in this half inning will be Leody Taveras with Evan Carter waiting on deck. See if they can mount a 2-out rally here. Swung on and missed. Just a very eager Leody Taveras early in the game. That's something we saw last night and something we've come to notice over the last few weeks is Taveras is ambushing pitches early, and later in the game is when he's being a little bit more patient. Got to be more selective. If you're going to take this type of approach, Sure, you want to try to crush the ball early and lock in on one specific pitch. Right now, he's just swinging at anything close early in the count. So that's something I'm hoping with some time off in that Seattle series, which I'm fully expecting, that he can kind of clean that up just a little bit. Welcome in, Brandon. Welcome in, Eric. Winning the World Series this year would finally rid me of the bad taste of 2011. The formula get the 2 seed, dodge the Astros, and hope the offense just goes off all playoffs. This one's lifted out over shortstop, making a little bit of a tippy toe catch there is Neto, and Tavares is retired for the third out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Texas. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Angels. As for your comment there, Eric, I agree. I mean, I'd love to get the taste of 2011 out of my mouth, just like you. The 2 seed, I think, is absolutely vital for the Rangers this year. I don't think they're going to go in as a wild card anyway. I think they're pretty much got the division sewed up at this point. All that's left is really just finishing out the season. They'll win 1 or 2 more games. The Astros will lose 1 or 2 more games, and that's all you really need. You'd like to go in with a ton of momentum. You'd like to sweep Seattle, but I'm not thinking that's in the cards right now for Texas. I think they're going to try to get people healthy, get some people some time off, like a guy like Leody Tavares. They probably let Jankowski get 2 starts in Seattle. You're thinking of probably getting Adolis Garcia a day, probably giving Jonah Heim 2, maybe 3 days off. Austin Hedges probably starting 2 of those games in Seattle. And you want their starting pitching to really finish the season strong as well. So Jordan Montgomery, who's going to get the ball tomorrow against Seattle, is going to have a big start as he tries to finish off his season successfully with Texas. He's been very good for Texas so far this year. But getting healthy, staying healthy, and going in with some momentum and fresh legs is what I think is the recipe for Texas right now. As for dodging the Astros, that would be great. But the Rangers have been able to have some success against the Astros. Other times, not so much. We just saw they played the Astros at home not too long ago and got, let's just say, the stuffing knocked out of them. But, you never know in a postseason game. The tough lineup of the Astros, a good bullpen. You got to love, from their perspective, Valdez and Verlander as their 1-2. Dodging the Astros probably would be a good thing, but not any one of these teams are still going to be pretty good teams. So Baltimore's going to be good. That you're probably facing the ALCS if you get that far. Tampa's good, who you might get as that 2 seed, but we'll see. Back-to-back pitches here in the dirt for Dunning. 2-0 here to Neto. Neto in his career versus Texas, hitting 174. Another one missing low and away. Looks like Dunning's just trying to locate that pitch more than pitch to Neto here. Not sure why he's just doing that. I would be pitching to try to get the out here. You want to look crisp, not work on a pitch this late into the season. Although we did see Will Smith really do that last night. That one misses inside, and that's a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff hitter, Neto. What did I tell you at the beginning of the broadcast? The one thing this Rangers coaching staff does not want to see? Walks. And especially the 4-pitch variety, and now you got a dangerous hitter in Brandon Drury, who hit that 2-run home run yesterday up. Update from the Astros game. Looks like it's now a 1-1 game. Astros tie it versus the Mariners in the top of the 4th. This one's grounded to third. Young flips to second, gets the out there, onto first, safe. I believe they called him out at second. No, they're calling him... Well, what are they calling? We've seen the graphic change twice now. Yep, they're saying out at second base. A good play by Josh Young, but just got the throw there in the nick of time to get Neto. And Drury does beat the throw to first. Man, that was close at second. Looks like we're going to have a challenge. Or are they going to talk about the slide into second from Neto? Bochy out there talking to the umpire. I think the umpire was saying you can't challenge it. He just keeps saying 15 seconds over and over and over again. Huh. Interesting. I'm guessing that was about the slide into second about Neto. Either way, Drury beat it out to first, so one away now here in the fourth. Good off-speed pitch there by Dunning. No extra base hits by Moustakas in his last 72, now 73 at bats, as this one's popped out. Infield fly rule in effect there for Corey Seager. Yeah, Neto did overslide the bag, so they would have had a case to get the out at first as well. He didn't make contact, but he wasn't that far egregious anyway on his slide into second. In either event, there's two away now here in the bottom of the fourth. Nice off-speed pitch just off the corner. Not getting the call this time is Dunning. Umpires are being really strict about that 15 seconds. That's something I'm sure baseball will look at as well, as to whether or not 15 seconds is long enough of a chance to get a replay or not. I'm sure they're more trying to get the egregious mistakes of the game out rather than get every mistake out. I think if you try to get every mistake of the game out, it's going to take a lot more time to play these games. Nice hard hit ball by Logan O'Hoppe, and it'll now be first and second with two away here in the fourth. That is only the second hit of the game for the Angels. Yordan Alvarez, they show, hit that home run to deep center field to tie the game at 1 in the fourth. The set by Dunning and the pitch. Little tapper back to Dunning. Makes the backhand stab and flips to first. Pushes his glasses up in the middle of all that. Looks like his glasses kind of came loose as he fielded that one. In either event now, we are through 4 innings. Rangers lead it 2-0. Let's check in on that Astros-Mariners game. There's that home run by Alvarez right there to lead things off. Tucker flied out. Abreu got a single. Brantley got a single, forcing Abreu to third. And now with one away in the inning and runners on the corners, Dubon is up. Chance for the Astros to take the lead against the Mariners. And it looks like they will here. Let's see what happens with Dubon. Takes the 1-0 pitch down the middle, and what does he do with it? Oh, wow. Home run, Houston. They lead it 4-1 now over Seattle. Ouch. That one hurts if you're a Ranger fan. You were hoping Seattle was going to be able to, pitch their way through this one, but Bryce Miller gives up the 4 runs on 2 home runs this inning. 1 to Yordan Alvarez, and now a 3-run shot here to Dubon. Ouch. And still only 1 away in the top of the fourth. That's the thing with this lineup. It can be pretty scary when it's hitting on all cylinders. And Seattle's going to have to get their offense going in order to come back in this one. Welcome back, Master Chief. Appreciate you for joining us once again. But wow, what a top half of the fourth inning for Houston right now. Yeesh. Looks like we're just getting back from commercial break in hours. Evan Carter due up first, followed by Marcus Semien and Corey Seager. First pitch here to Carter. Broken bat. Got one hopper to the first baseman. Canning covers and gets the out recorded. Carter was kind of shocked that his bat actually broke on that. Looked at his handle like, really? In either event, one away here in the top of the fifth. Looks like he caught it just off the end of the bat. That literally broke right above his hand. He's like, really? Semien had that good at bat the last time. Scored a run back in the first as well. He's having a good day. They do have the 2-game lead and change over the Astros right now. That one misses well inside. Now 2-0 to Semien. Canning up to 84 pitches already. Got to think this might be his final inning if Texas can string together one base hit, maybe two. And then this one misses outside again. Now 3-0 to Semien. Magic number, yes, I agree there, Master Chief. It would shrink down to 2 if they win. The 3-0. That one misses at the top of the zone, but according to the home plate umpire, caught enough of the plate. 3-1. This one's popped up in the air. Behind second base, Fletcher makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Rangers broadcast is noticing that they're talking about a Japanese cat food on like 15 different advertisements around the Angels ballpark in this fifth inning. And they're like, this is purely because of Shohei Ohtani. I mean, this game is, I'm sure, broadcast in Japan because I'm sure they thought Ohtani was going to be in a pennant race right around now. And I'm sure they got all kinds of advertising as this one bounces in front of home plate, bounces up and hits the home plate umpire in the face. Ouch. He's like, thankfully I had a mask on, but he's going to take his time and stretch his jaw there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a trainer. Caught him right. It actually hit his ear. There ain't no mask there. Ow. Home plate umpire taking a few deep breaths after that one. Probably caught him in the soft spot right behind the ear, it looked like. In either event, it's 1-0 here to Corey Seager. That one misses again. Another leaping grab by O'Hop just to make a stab at it. It's now 2-0. O'Hop really just trying to protect the home plate umpire at that point. The 2-0. Off-speed pitch right at the bottom of the zone. Another one clips the home plate umpire. Seager nods to him and says, sorry about that, and they both share a smile. He's like, yeah, I wore one yesterday. You had to wear one today. Another one right at the bottom of the zone, rolled over by Corey. And that's the third out of the inning. Rangers still lead it 2-0 after 4.5. And once again, they show that cat food advertisement around the ballpark, the Chururu cat food for Japan's #1 cat food. If the Rangers do get Ohtani, can you put him at first? I don't think they would want to put him at first. You want to make sure that bat's in the lineup. Why put him at a position he's never really played, consistently before? I mean, sure, you'd like to have the flexibility there, and honestly, he'd be a far better option offensively at first base, obviously. But putting him at designated hitter and then having him still pitch is probably the blueprint for Texas. Now, next year, obviously, he's probably not going to pitch a whole lot at all. So we'll see. Next game is Seattle. Yep. Let's check in on that score, by the way. Last we saw, Houston put a 4-spot up in the top half of the 4th inning. Cal Raleigh is up right now, 1-0 count. Framber Valdez with a 3-run lead now. I'm sure is going to settle in and just start pouring in the strikes here. Has 6 strikeouts in the game. One and one to Raleigh. But as far as what would the Rangers do if they got Ohtani, I hear some speculation out there that they would use him as a starter at some point. I see some teams out there discussing the idea of putting him as their closer. I actually like that idea. I think it would keep him fresher, and I think he would have a bigger impact on more games as a pitcher coming out of the bullpen. You could use him as a 1 or 2 inning closer, use him in high leverage situations. You could start him, as your designated hitter and then flex him back. You know how they changed the rules for Ohtani this year. I'm sure they would do something similar if he went to the bullpen. But there's all kinds of opportunities, once you have a player like that on your roster. Basically, he's 2 players in 1. So, and another 2-ball count to start things off here in the 5th inning for Dunning. Stefanik had that quote-unquote error on Garcia earlier, and they have since switched that to a base hit. Line shot this time to center to Tavares, and he makes the catch 1 step to his right. So let's hope Texas wins today. I agree. Get that magic number down to 2, and then all it takes is 1 loss by the Astros and 1 win by the Rangers, and the Rangers get the AL West crown. Get back to our game there. 1-0 the count once again here. Another one misses. I don't know what Dunning is doing the last couple of innings. He's come out a little bit loose with his locations. 2-0 count to a hitter that's below 200. And again, the Angels bail him out. A little tapper to first. And that'll be the 2nd out of the inning. 4 2/3 so far for Dunning today. 64 pitches, 5 strikeouts. Looked a lot crisper the first 3 innings. In the 4th and the 5th, looks like he's missing location. This is something I would be paying attention to if I'm Mike Maddox and Bruce Bochy. In the playoffs, you do take out your starter pretty much the second they start to lose it. So maybe this time, or if he's able to show that he can get through these types of situations, maybe they'll trust him a little deeper into games in the postseason. They're going to have a lot of starters in that bullpen once the postseason rolls around. Welcome in, Nicholas. Appreciate you for joining us once again. First pitch to Fletcher's fouled off, and the second one there misses low and away. 1-1 the count. This one on the inner half of the plate, missed location, grounded through the hole between 3rd and short. 2-out base hit by Fletcher. And it'll be Randall Grichuk due up next. Got 33 of you guys watching right now. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Really does help us out. Want to say thank you to those of you who've joined us the last 2 nights for this series. First pitch again misses from Dane Dunning. Just not very crisp with his location the last inning and a half. Looks like that one more slipped out of his hand than anything else. Astros winning today can help us make the playoffs if we win. Today, the only scenario would be out is if we end up tied with Seattle and Astros while Toronto gets the second wild card. Good odds. I agree. Great coverage, by the way. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. 1-1 here to Grichuk. Launched by Grichuk. Is it stay fair? It does, but in the field of play, that ball kind of died in that marine air. Carter makes the catch right on the line. That's the 3rd out of the inning. That pitch looked like it was going to go a long way. But just seemed to die in midair about halfway down the fair foul line, just as it crossed in the air over third base. Basically, it looked like it hit that air and just sapped all of its energy. But in either event, we go to the top of the sixth. The Rangers lead it by a score of 2-0. Checking in on that Astros game, Cal Raleigh was able to get on base to start the inning for them on a single. Haggerty followed it with a single, runners on first and second. Caballero grounded out. Now runners are at the corners with one away. And J.P. Crawford, who has homered and taken a walk so far, is up, to be followed by Julio Rodriguez. I'm sure the Mariners would love to get a base hit here from Crawford. Don't really count on Crawford to hit, for power like that, but really like that he was able to get the game started off on the right foot for the Mariners. Jesus, and that would be a lineup of Carter, Garcia, Marcus, Corey, Garner, and the man. Oh, I'm guessing you're referring to Ohtani again. Another walk by Valdez. Wow. Okay, bases loaded now for the Mariners' best hitter, Julio Rodriguez. He did not come through a couple of times in the series so far with the bases loaded. We'll see if he comes through here. But I agree that would be a great lineup if we did add Shohei Ohtani. First pitch in the top of the sixth in our game. Nathaniel Lowe takes strike one on the outside corner. Once again, Griffin Canning still out there. 92 pitches so far. Curious to see how far they let him go. This one's tapped foul, 0-2. Langford will be up. Yes, he will, Jesus. Carter will be up. Curious will be, what they decide to do with Leody Taveras, if he's the fourth outfielder or still in the starting lineup. But I think if Langford and Carter are both on the big club, I think both are in the starting lineup. I think that would mean Carter's probably in center, Langford in left, Adolis in right, and then Leody Taveras, maybe they're able to move him. Think back to the years of the Washington Nationals when they were competing, for World Series. They made the big trade for Adam Eaton. Everybody was like, wow, you got that much for Adam Eaton? You got Lucas Giolito, who at the time was one of the top 100 starting pitching prospects in the game, along with Ronaldo Lopez and two other pieces. Dane Dunning, I believe, was one of the pieces in that trade as well. That would be a fantastic trade if they could get something like that. 1-2 pitch here to Nathaniel Lowe, and he taps it out to second base. And again, another rolled over pitch by Nathaniel Lowe. He's another guy that needs a day off, honestly. A lot of guys in this Rangers lineup. Bochy's really kind of ridden hard all season long. Simeon's probably reacted the best to it, stayed healthy, and been able to produce, playing every single day. One of only two players to actually play and start in every single game. Adolis Garcia, 2 for 2 in the game so far, is up. Watching that bases loaded situation in Seattle quite carefully while Adolis is up right now. Swing and a miss by Adolis, and it's 0-1. That error, by the way, as I mentioned, had been switched to a base hit instead, so Adolis does not get credited with an error after losing that one in the lights. This one bounces in there, 1-1. One and two on Julio Rodriguez in that Houston-Seattle game. I think all Rangers fans right now are hoping for a grand slam from Julio. Has a walk, a strikeout, and stolen a base so far today. This one's tapped foul by Garcia, and it's also 1-2 in the Rangers game. Rodriguez takes that one for a ball, 2-2. Bases loaded there in Seattle. Bottom of the fourth inning. After Houston scored 4 in the top half of the fourth. And that one misses by a mile. Griffin Canning missing with pitch number 100 about 2 or 3 feet above the zone again. And Julio Rodriguez strikes out again. His second strikeout of the game. Meanwhile, Adolis Garcia lifts this one to deep center. Will it carry far enough? It won't. Looks like it's going to die about 2 or 3 feet shy of a home run. Did not miss that one by much. It'll be up to Eugenio Suarez in that Mariners bottom half of the fourth inning. Fortnite Gamer, are the Angels going to score a run? I'll say they'll score a run. I mean, the Rangers bullpen is the Rangers bullpen. Probably the most inconsistent bullpen of any contender in recent memory, honestly. For a team as good as the Rangers have been offensively this year, if they even had a marginal bullpen, they'd be looking significantly better. Base hit here by Josh Young with 2 outs in the 6th. Meanwhile, in the Mariners game, a single by Eugenio Suarez makes it a 4-3 ball game. Runners now on first and second. Seattle cutting that deficit down to 1, answering back to that Houston rally in the top half with their own rally in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And this hitter could probably be it for Griffin Canning after that hit by Josh Young. Jonah Heim digs in, takes high for ball 1. Teoscar Hernandez is up right now for Seattle. Couple of strikeouts in the game for him. See if he can reverse his fortunes now. The 1-0. Big swing by Jonah Heim. Did not miss that by much. And it's now 1-1. Angels bullpen is going. Looks like they've got Kratz or Mats loosening out there. Something ATZ. I can't tell what the rest of it says. Hernandez takes the first pitch and grounds out to the shortstop. And that ends the Seattle rally. But they do get a couple back in the bottom of the fourth inning. Now 4-3. Houston in front of Seattle. Flip back over to our Rangers screen here. 2 outs already in the top half of the 6th. Josh Young sitting there on first base as they try to pick him off unsuccessfully. Canning up to 105 pitches. He's pitched well, don't get me wrong. Far better than he has at any point against the Rangers so far this year. But he still trails 2-0 here. 95-mile-an-hour fastball misses. Now 2-2. Executed that pitch pretty well. Steps off. Gathers his thoughts there. The set and the pitch. Another fastball here, fouled off by Jonah down the third base line. Missed a base hit there by about 15-20 feet. Canning up to 107. This will be 108 pitches for him. In a day and age where you really don't see anybody get north of 100 pitches anymore. Certainly not into that 110, 120 stratosphere. Canning getting dangerously close to that. Another pickoff attempt here for Young. Or for Canning on Young. Unsuccessful. That was fairly close though. But now with 2 pickoff attempts, now Josh Young will pretty much have free reign over there at first base. Unless they pick him off, he will be awarded second base if they try it again. The 2-2 misses high, and it'll be 3-2 now. Got to think this is the last hitter for Griffin Canning. O'Hop comes out from behind home plate, instructs everybody to go to first with the full count and the 2 outs. Young will be off with the pitch. The set by Griffin and the pitch misses inside on the off-speed pitch, and that's ball 4. And that'll probably do it there. for Griffin Canning. He keeps saying he's good to Phil Nevin. Coming out of the Angels dugout, looks like he is going to be replaced. I'm sure it looks like Canning wants to try to stay in this one, though. Nevin is actually having a discussion with him. They're going to let him go. I'm a little surprised. 109 pitches. Mitch Garver, who already has a base hit off of him today, due up next. Garver does hit well against right-handers. You already have a guy ready to go in the bullpen. He wants a new baseball before he gets this one started. Makes the walk almost all the way down to home plate to get it. Wants actually came out of the bullpen and onto the field, but now makes his way back to the bullpen area. A little miscommunication by that Angels team again. We've seen that a few times this season. They have a nice laugh about it out there in the bullpen. Strike one here to Mitch Garver. 7-game hitting streak for Garver, hitting .476, couple homers, 5 RBIs, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts during that span. Big moment here in the Rangers game. If they can bust it open here, would go a long way to trimming that magic number down to 2. Little grounder off the ankle of Griffin Canning, able to kick it to the shortstop, who flips it to first and is able to get Garver. What a nice little play there by Neto, the shortstop. And Griffin Canning gets out of a 2-on, 2-out jam. Wantz actually came about halfway into the outfield to be able to make that pitching change as they show the replay of that. But a nice defensive play there by Neto. Looked like if he hadn't kicked it, he probably would have gotten a base hit up the middle. In either event, that's going to do it here in the top half of the 6th. Rangers lead it 2-0. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Texas. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Angels. Check in on that Astros and Mariners game. 3-2 count. Looks like Bryce Miller is out of the game. Gabe Spire is in, the lefty for the Mariners. Looks like another base hit for Altuve here. Got a double to center. Very nice. Bregman is up, had a walk, and got caught stealing earlier in the game. In case you guys are just joining us, Texas got out to a 1-0 lead in the first inning of our game, and then Adolis Garcia added another run in his second at-bat of the day. In the Houston Astros and Seattle Mariners game, Seattle got a leadoff home run from J.P. Crawford to get things started for them, and then Houston kind of clobbered their way back into it in the top half of the 4th inning on the strength of 2 home runs, one from Yordan Alvarez to tie it at 1, and then a 3-run home run by Mauricio Dubon. Seattle came back in the last half inning, had bases loaded with only 1 out and Julio Rodriguez up. He struck out. Eugenio Suarez, who has been very susceptible to the strikeout, got a bases loaded 2-run single to get things going for them, or to at least cut into that deficit. It's now a 4-3 ball game in Seattle. Dane Dunning is back out for the Rangers in the bottom of the 6th. Meanwhile, Alex Bregman has flied out to right, and Altuve has advanced to third with 1 out. We'll see if they're able to keep that runner at third base. Again, everybody's paying attention to both of these games since the AL West is so closely being decided right now, but all the way down to the final series of the season more than likely. 1-1 as this one just, and I mean just, misses for Dane Dunning. Now 2-1. Umpire kind of squeezing him at that bottom of the zone on the outside corner. Looks like the Mariners are intentionally walking Yordan Alvarez. They will instead face Kyle Tucker. That's 2 times that watch has gone off on me. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that real quick. And Dane Dunning works his way back into that one, gets the strikeout there of Neto, who had a good defensive play, kind of muttering to himself as he goes back to the dugout. Dunning set and the pitch. Drury takes strike one on the outside corner, turns to talk to the home plate umpire to say, was that the very outside corner? Is that as far as you're going to call it? And he said, yes. Got 40 of you guys with us right now as we watch both games. This one's tapped foul, third base side by Drury, and it's quickly 0-2. Meanwhile, big moment in that Seattle-Houston game. Gabe Spire, right now the pitcher, facing Kyle Tucker. See if they're able to get the double play or if they're able to at least stop the run from scoring from third. Altuve's at third after the intentional walk to Alvarez. Looks like Tucker, first pitch, flies out to the left fielder Dylan Moore, and they don't get the run across. Still 4-3, Houston in front. And I'm guessing a pitching change is about to happen in that one as Drury strikes out for the second time in the game. Dunning gets a nice piece of work there. Meanwhile, Moustakas first pitch swinging here, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Dane Dunning after struggling with location in that fourth and fifth inning. Looks very crisp here in the sixth. We go to the seventh. Texas in front, 2-0. It'll be Tavares, Carter, and Simeon in the top half of the seventh there. Abreu is coming up with runners on the corners. 2 away in the top of the fifth of that Seattle and Houston game. Let us know in the comment section which team you're following, which team you think ultimately wins the AL West, how you think the American League wild card race kind of sorts itself out. Got to think Toronto's got the leg up right now in that wild card race to be able to get that second wild card, or at least one of the 2 wild card spots. Very unlikely they fall out of wild card contention unless they just lay an egg in the final series of the season. But it's very likely going to come down to Seattle and Houston, for that final wild card spot. Texas looks like they're going to hold on to the AL West crown, especially if their lead holds right now. Their magic number would only be 2. What that means is they'd need some combination of Rangers wins and Astros losses in order for that magic number to drop. So, we shall see. Looks like they're going to go with the youngster Topa against Abreu. This is the third pitcher of the game so far for the Mariners, and we're not even through 5 innings there. Meanwhile, Framber Valdez has really struggled with his location. Multiple walks in the game, but they have a more reliable bullpen in my estimation. Seattle used Matt Brash yesterday for an inning and 2/3. Curious to see if they go with him again or if they give him the night off after being used so much last night. Looks like we're just about back from commercial break in ours. Wantz is indeed on for Griffin Canning now. Remember, he had the jog halfway into the game earlier, only to be sent back by Nevin saying, "I never called for you." Canning was able to talk his way into facing Mitch Garver and got the job done with a heel click and a nice defensive play by Zach Neto. Leote takes outside, ball 1. This one in off the plate, fouled away by Tavares, off of his ankle. A little painful there for Tavares. Takes a little bit of a walk with that one. Home plate umpire giving him some time to recover. Goes out there and casually cleans home plate, giving him some time to shake that one off. It's one thing I do appreciate about the camaraderie between the home plate umpire, the batter, and the catcher. If one of them gets dinged with a ball, they're not going to be like, "Hey, you got hit." Now, in lower levels of baseball, they might not be quite so cordial, but it's nice to see some sportsmanship between the 3 of them. Now we get time by Leote after he fouled that one back to the screen. 1-2 the count here. Looks like the score is still holding, at least for the moment. Astros in front 4-3. We'll check in on that one here at the end of this at-bat. Swung on and missed by Leote. And he is the first out here of the 7th inning. Let's check in once again on that game just to see how things are going for Topa against Abreu. 1-2 count with Evan Carter coming up in the Rangers game. Fouled off by Abreu once again. First pitch to Evan Carter. Outside, a little high. 1-0. That one misses again, and it's now 2-0 to Evan Carter. Rangers game moving very quickly. That one misses outside. 3-0 to Evan Carter, who's already walked so far today. Meanwhile, in the Seattle game, Abreu hit this one in fair territory, but looks like he was grounded out to shortstop with the force at second. So they do get the runner to third, but are unable to score him. And the Mariners are able to get out of that 2-on, 2-out jam. Carter takes a strike on the outside corner in that Rangers game. Let's flip over to that one. Hard hit right to the first baseman. That was a smash. Carter a lot happier with that at bat, at least, than the last one where his bat was literally sawed off right at the handle right here. Still swinging a pretty good stick, though. Love to have seen the exit velocity on that. That was a rocket to first base. Semien digging in. Single, scored a run in the first, much like he did yesterday. Still looking for his 29th home run of the year. Still needs 2 more RBIs for 100. Takes low ball 1. Got 40 of y'all with us right now. Really appreciate you guys joining us. Hit that like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at UpsideSN. This one misses low again. It's now 2-0 to Semien. Looking for a pitch he can drive. Looks like he's going to take until he actually sees a strike. Wants takes a walk around the mound, sets on the mound, and the pitch low and away. 3-0 now to Marcus. Juan still looking for first strike of this at bat. The set and the pitch. Nice off-speed pitch right at the belt on the inside corner. 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Probably was ball 4 right there. Semien chased that one. 3-2 now. Corey Seager waiting on deck. This one's popped up. First base. And making the catch there is Drury, I believe. And that is going to do it for the Rangers in the top half of the 7th. This game is moving very quickly. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Texas. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Angels. Just want to check on the pitch counts for both pitchers. Dunning through 6 innings is at 79 pitches. Probably is going to get the opportunity to go out there for at least the 7th. Could get the opportunity to go into the 8th, depending how quickly the 7th goes for him. Canning threw 111 pitches over his 6 innings of work. And then Wantz came out of the bullpen for the Angels and just threw 15. Got to think he's done after that one. Maybe could get one more inning out of Wantz if you're an Angels fan. Checking in on that Seattle game. Jared Kelenic is getting a pinch hit situation for Dylan Moore. Kendall Graveman is on for the Astros out of that bullpen for Framber Valdez. So Valdez only goes 4 innings today. Gives up the 3 runs, a whole bunch of walks as well. It's been a very good competitive game out there. Graveman, former closer for this Astros team and the Mariners team, strikes out the pinch hitter there. It'll be Ty France next. 0 for 2 with a strikeout in this one. Does have a lot of power, so he could tie it here with one mighty swing. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Houston today. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Seattle. Very competitive game. I think the game is on MLB Network. I know a fair number of you guys do not get that station. I know a fair number of you guys don't also get the Bally Sports Network as well. So in this day and age where everybody has to have a whole bunch of different streaming services just to get what they used to get 10 years ago on their Dish or DirecTV package, now you kind of have to pay an arm and a leg for either of those two or go the streaming route and have multiple streaming services. We appreciate you opting to choose us on YouTube instead. Second pitch here to Ty France. Looks like it's going to be at least a base hit for Ty France. We'll see what happens. Yep, looks like a single there for him. Single to left anyway. Meanwhile, Dane Dunning is back out there for the 7th. Has quickly gotten ahead of Logan O'Hoppe 0-2. Flip it back over to our game. Don't worry, we'll keep you guys updated on both. This one's popped up. And Heim makes the catch right on top of the Rangers on deck circle there for the first out of the inning. Dunning at 82 pitches right now. Through 6 1/3, 7 strikeouts, no earned runs. He's been very effective, very sharp, aside from that 4th and 5th inning where he started to lose location. But this is exactly what you were hoping to see, kind of a shutdown game for Dane Dunning in his final start of the season. First pitch to Adele. Kind of a hard grounder here to Josh Young. Up with it. Strong throw to first. 2 away here at 83 pitches. Dane Dunning might just get the 8th inning as well. He looks very good. Rangers, of course, still trying to get some momentum, continue to build it as you get into the postseason. That kind of worried me, though. Dane Dunning blowing on his fingers, that's usually a sign that you're starting to feel some heat in your finger when you're releasing the ball. That's indicative of blisters. That was not good. Now, pitchers blow on their hands all the time, don't get me wrong, but Dane Dunning usually is not one that does so. So I'm really hoping that was just, hey, blowing dirt off my hand, rather than, hey, I'm feeling heat in my fingers because I'm getting a blister. He hasn't done it again, but he's thrown 2 balls in a row since. I'm going to watch him closely here as he finishes this inning. That one finds the strike zone, 2-1. Last thing this Rangers team needs is another pitching injury. We saw that Atlanta Braves rotation has already been derailed. This one's tapped up to the middle. Corey Seager up with it, flips on to first. I want to see if they bring Dane Dunning back out for the 8th. He is not one that usually plays with his hands whenever he's out there on the mound. He might wipe them on his pants to get the dirt off, dry his hand off from sweat, but he never really blows on his fingers. That worries me that he might be getting a blister. Like I said, Rangers have had a mash unit in that starting rotation for the better part of 2 months now. Last thing they need is him to go down. We shall see. Meanwhile, in that Mariners game, they had the strikeout of Kelenic, a base hit by France, and then a double play by Cal Raleigh to end the inning. They go to the 6th inning. Nice work there by Kendall Graveman and the Astros to get through it. Both starters did not make it through the 5th in that one, in a game that's being treated like a playoff game, because it really is for both teams. Houston, if they drop this one, they lose pretty much any control they have over their own destiny. Same thing for Seattle. If they lose this one, they really fall a little too far back to really make a significant jump above Houston. Looks like Topa's still going to stay in there. Same with Kelenic. And Brantley is 2 for 2 on the day with a double and a run scored. He's going to lead things off here in the 6th for Houston. Flip back over to our game. I'm wondering about that about Dane Dunning, if he's going to be all right or not. Like I was trying to say about Atlanta, they had a pitcher go down with a blister issue. Max Fried, their ace, is not going to very likely is not going to be able to pitch in that AL or the NLDS anyway, because he had to be put on the injured list to recover from that blister. Last thing the Rangers need is their game one starter to also go down when they already are missing DeGrom, Scherzer. Eovaldi's not been the same since he got back. Odorizzi hadn't even been able to play the entire season. Perez was supposed to be your number 3 coming into the season, or number 2, depending on how you saw it. But he's been ineffective or until he at least got to the bullpen, where he's been better back there. John Gray left his last start with an injury. Heaney's been moved to the bullpen due to ineffectiveness. Ben Joyce comes out of the bullpen for the Angels. First pitch here to Seager, and he ambushes this one up the middle for a base hit. 1 for 4 now on the day is Seager. No such thing as a get-me-over fastball these days for Corey. He's going to ambush it every single time. Low swings and misses 102 miles an hour from Ben Joyce on that one. That was right in Lowe's wheelhouse, too. I don't think Lowe was ready for that level of speed. Off the arm of Joyce. Takes his time here. Oh and 2 the count now to Lowe. Also 0 for 3 in the game. Rangers only with 6 hits in the game so far. The 0-2 fouled off another 102-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone. Lowe able to catch up with that one and at least make contact with it. This Joyce kid's got a lively arm. That one misses low and away. Maybe he doesn't have a second pitch. Maybe that's why they're using him here in this type of situation. But that speed will play. 101 off the outside corner, fouled back by Lowe. Anytime you get a pitcher that's throwing in triple digits, you got a good pitcher on your hands. All he has to do is locate a little bit better with that off-speed stuff, and you got a dynamic reliever. The 1-2 misses inside, 2-2. Rays have gone final with Boston 5-0 as they wrap up their season trying to get some momentum. That one misses low and in. The appeal down to third. He did not go around. 3-2 now. Rangers have worked the count quite a bit deeper in this game than they have in games previously. 3-2 pitch here to Lowe. And that one misses right at the bottom of the zone. That's a tough call for Joyce. But in either event, the Rangers will take it 2 on, nobody out. With Adolis Garcia up. He's been the player of the game for Texas so far. Driven in both runs. Had a double back in his first at-bat, a homer in his second. And just missed a home run in his last at-bat by about 3 feet. So we'll see what he has in store for us here in the 8th inning. Angels have been working primarily with soft stuff to him early in the count. That one misses inside, 1-0. Got to think the high fastball that Garcia struggled with earlier before the injury is what they'll go with here. This one's a hard ground ball to Neto, flipped on to first, and that's a double play. First time Garcia's really not had anything successful going in his at-bat, but 2 away now. Corey Seager is now at third base. It'll be up to Josh Young, who had the base hit in his last at-bat, to keep this one going for the Rangers. Nice play there by Neto, though. Makes a strong play. Fletcher also makes a strong throw over to first. O'Hop comes out to have a conversation here with Joyce, how they want to attack Josh Young. Joyce with a smile for his catcher, and they part. Like to see another base hit in this innings for Josh Young if he can. Off-speed pitch right down the middle. Young does not connect with it. Didn't miss by much though. Really would like to see him be a little bit more selective here. Another off-speed pitch, about 3 feet low and away, and Young still swings at it. That's one thing in the offseason he's going to have to work on, is the chase rate on those breaking balls low and away. If he can shave that percentage down by 5%, we're talking about a hitter that's probably a lot more successful as far as drawing walks, getting more advantageous situations as far as the count, and probably boosting that batting average by 15 points or so just by laying off a few more of those pitches low and away. Young fouls this one off, still remains 0-2. That one misses not by much though. Nice work laying off of that one, 1-2. Joyce wanted that one there. Pretty much the same spot, but this time an off-speed pitch foul down the first base line and out of play. And we'll do it again. Astros are held scoreless in their top half of the sixth. They go to the bottom of the sixth, 4-3 Houston. The 1-2. 100 miles an hour right at the top of the zone. Young was well underneath that. I don't think he was ready for another fastball and strikes out swinging. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Texas 2, Angels nothing. Checking in on that Mariners game as they go to the bottom of the sixth there. Neris is out of the bullpen now for the Astros after Graveman worked a scoreless fifth. Ford is the pinch hitter here. Prospect of the Mariners, probably their top prospect at this point. Remember, they traded quite a few of their top prospects to bring in Luis Castillo last year from the Reds. Reds, I'm sure, would love to have had him in their rotation in this stretch run, but they made their decision to sell last year and kind of were one of those bright spots this year, unexpectedly getting in the winning way, and looks like they're just going to fall a little bit short of making a run for a wild card spot. In either event, it's now 2-1 on the Mariners pinch hitter. Gets the strike call there right at the knees on the inner half of the plate. 2-2. Ford is pinch hitting here for Haggerty, who was 1-for-1 with a walk, had been very successful against Framber Valdez. Maybe they just want more power in this spot here rather than the on-base percentages of a Haggerty. You can see the power numbers, an 802 OPS for Ford on the screen there on the bottom left. Caballero, the second baseman, is next. Ford will be taking over that DH spot. 3-2 as that one bounces in there. Looks like we're just about to get back, and it does look like Dunning is indeed done. Gets the high five from Max Scherzer. I did not think Jacob deGrom was on this trip with the Rangers, but he had been at a lot of the home games for the Rangers over the last month, working a lot with that bullpen as Ford has struck out in the Mariners and Astros game. But it's Aroldis Chapman coming out of the bullpen for Texas. Wonder if this is more about them getting their lineup set or their rotation and bullpen set for how they want things to go in the postseason. Maybe Chapman's the guy they want in the 8th and then Leclerc in the 9th. We shall see. Looks like Escobar is going to come off the bench here. Come on now. Stop flipping around. I just pissed Texas. There we go. Okay. Escobar is coming in the game for Walsh, who was hitting 125 on the season. He's really not looked good this series at all. But Chapman, who's had his moments of wildness, but the Rangers really overused him for a period of time, and that's part of the reason why Chapman's numbers really dipped. It's 2-0 here in the bottom of the 8th as the Rangers try to trim that magic number down to 2. Off-speed pitch just misses low and away. 1-0 here to Eduardo Escobar, who bats from the right side this time. Switch hitter there. 97-mile-an-hour fastball beneath the zone, chased at by Escobar, and it's now 1-1. Don't think they'll be using Chapman too much in that Mariners series, so good opportunity here to use him now, and then still keep him fresh for at least 1, maybe 2 more appearances in that Mariners series. Remember, they're going to have the wild card round off as well. If they get the division win, they will very likely have a first-round bye if they win the division. Escobar hitting .223 on the season, 6 homers in his time with both the Angels and Mets this year. That one misses well outside, 3-1. Chapman a little wild here, a little early on, but he's at least not throwing it to the backstop like we've seen him do at times as well. Nice pitch right on the inside corner there. Escobar took a step towards first, trying to convince them, but unsuccessful. Now 3-2 count. Chapman will give up the occasional walk, and then he'll give up stolen bases behind him. He doesn't really worry about too much of what's going on behind him as far as what's on base. He really likes to focus on the strikeout, so we'll see what happens here. This one's off the end of the bat, off-speed pitch, lifted into medium left field. A few shuffle steps over for Carter, and he squeezes it for the first out of the 8th inning. Fletcher will be next. Curious to see who the Rangers decide to go with in the 9th. Could be either Will Smith, who pitched yesterday, or it could be Jose Leclerc. Leclerc did not pitch yesterday, but has been used as a closer a few times this year. Opened the season as the Rangers closer. This one bounces in there, 1-0. Looks like it bounced on his foot from the graphic on the screen, but it wasn't nearly that close. 97 right down Broadway, strike 1, 1-1 the count. Fletcher had a base hit back in the 5th. One of only 3 Angels hits today. One of which was a ball that was hit right into the lights and went all the way to the wall for a triple anyway. That was Stefanik. This one's tapped to Corey Seager. High chopper, flipped on to first, and there are 2 away. Welcome in Dreadnought. Chapman scares me every time he pitches. So many balls. He is a little wild, but he's effective with his wildness. I think the speed of his pitches anyway kind of induces a lot of swing and misses, chases outside of the zone. But if a patient hitter is up there, say like a Michael Brantley for the Houston Astros, or a Kyle Tucker, or a Jose Altuve, he could run into issues. And he has run into issues with those types of hitters specifically. Even more specifically, Jose Altuve. He's actually given up quite a few home runs to him in postseason baseball as well, to Jose Altuve in those spots. So I get where you're saying as far as it does scare me, as far as given walks, etc. But it works to his advantage the majority of the time. In a postseason series, you're going to face better hitters, so it won't work quite as effectively, but it's still pretty effective even at that point. 0-2 here quickly to Randall Grichuk. 0 for 3 in the game. Fouls this 100-mile-an-hour pitch off at the very top of the zone. The one thing Aroldis does have is he possesses a lot of presence out there, and it does look like Jose Leclerc is going to get the ball in the 9th as he is warming out there. See if we get the... Yep, 102, and the stare down from Aroldis after that beautiful pitch right at the top of the zone. He looks sharp. Very, very good outing here for Aroldis Chapman. You're seeing a lot of good signs out of this Rangers bullpen right now. Just looks very good. Aroldis just, 102. and you got the postseason experience there in the bullpen as well. Mm. Well, the Rangers bullpen has been we'll call it the worst part of the Rangers team so far this year. I think we can safely say that. And over the past week, they've held up pretty well. They've had stretches over the season where they've had good stretches of baseball, but by and large, they've really struggled from start to finish this year. If they can finish on a high note with momentum, you never know. Maybe they are getting hot just at the right time with that bullpen group. So it's looking good. Maybe that Bochy's finally found the right strings to pull. I don't know. But they've looked good over the past week and against some good teams as well. I understand they're playing the Angels right now, but I mean they just had a 3-game series, a big series at home against Seattle, swept them. Their bullpen was very good. They did have some issues with Chris Stratton. He's been the one issue the past week and a half. But other than that, they've played really well in that bullpen. So thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that. Really does help us out. Thank you for the likes as well. I agree with you, Dreadnought. They've had way too many blown saves, but they've performed much better. Looks like Estevez, the Angels closer this year, is coming on to face the Rangers in the 9th. He has not been used so far this series. Let's check in on that Astros and Mariners score. Looks like they were scoreless in the bottom of the 6th there. They go to the 7th. Houston in front 4-3. We'll keep you guys updated through the remainder of this game. It'll be Jonah Heim, Mitch Garver, and Leody Taveras for the Rangers. Curious to see if we see some defensive adjustments in the next half inning for the Rangers, or if they allow a pinch hitter here or two. I'd like to see Travis Jankowski get some more at-bats before we get into the postseason. Same thing for Ezekiel Duran. I think we'll see both of those guys get at least 2 starts when they go to Seattle tomorrow. I think Austin Hedges is likely to get a couple of starts there as well. So if they can lock this one down, magic number will be 2. If Mariners are able to come back, then the magic number will be 1. Looks like Brett Phillips has come into the game for the Angels. Jonah Heim takes a 95-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees for a strike. Nice ground ball up the middle into center field for Jonah Heim. His first base hit of the game. Had a walk earlier as well. Curious to see if they pinch run here for Jonah. Little bit of drama there in Houston, or in the Houston and Seattle match. Neris came all the way out after striking Rodriguez out, all the way down to Rodriguez and trying to intimidate him. Benches cleared in that one at the end of the 6th inning. Oof. It's going to be a fun one in the last 3 innings there. Benches cleared in that playoff game here at the end of the regular season. Mitch Garver is up there next. Fouls that one off, and it's 1-1. I'm hoping it stays that way. The Brewers series really made me wonder how they were going to compete in the playoffs. Big swing by Garver there, unable to make contact, and it's 1-2 now. The Brewers series was a bad one for Texas. The Brewers, though, can be difficult to certain types of teams. And the Rangers, I just think, just the way the team was going at that point, you'd like to have seen them perform better, don't get me wrong, but that was going to be a tough one for them to win. And it was a little bit of a downer to see how they performed in that one. I'd like to see Taveras get back into the groove, yes, but I think it's more about him getting time off more than anything else. He seems overly eager to get a base hit early in the game. I think he just needs time off his feet to kind of get his head right more than anything else. And he's been better over the last 3 weeks or so, but he's been one of those Rangers who struggled in big time in that stretch in the back half of August, beginning of September. He's actually struggled since the beginning of July, really. Garver Lifts this one into shallow right field. Will this drop in fair territory? No. Bounces foul and out of play, and it remains 1-2. I didn't see if there were any ejections in that Astros-Mariners game. We shall see. Flip that over here in just a moment. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mitch Garver is down on strikes on that one. And it'll be Leote next for Texas. Still surprised they didn't lift Jonah Heim for a pinch runner there. I would have let Austin Hedges catch for the 9th inning for Jose Leclerc. Maybe they just want Heim to catch Leclerc, I suppose. Make sure they seal this win, I suppose. Ball 1 here to Leote. Struck out a couple of times so far today. This one's lifted into center. Deep center field. At the wall, making a little bit of a reach for it, is Adele. And back to first base goes Jonah. 2 away here in the top half of the 9th inning. That would have been a good couple of insurance runs if Leote is able to knock that one a little further. If that could have sliced maybe another foot or 2, you're talking about a ball that needs to be caught at the wall, maybe a little bit above. But in either event, that is the second out of the inning. Evan Carter due up, 0 for 2. Has a walk so far today. Broken bat ground out to first and a hard hit smash to first so far for him. 1-1 as that one misses. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Estevez getting a little stronger with that fastball now. Reaching back for a little extra. That one misses low. Another 98-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-1. Carter's more than willing to be patient here. Got 55 of y'all with us right now. Appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. The 2-1 here by Estevez. Nice off-speed pitch. Gets the call. That one looked to be a little bit wide, but gets the friendly call from the home plate umpire, who's been fairly accurate with his calls so far today. A couple of mystifying calls at times, but so far so good for him behind the plate. 2-2. 98 fouled off, back behind home plate, and we'll do it again. Welcome in, Zachary. How do you think the Rangers stack up against other AL playoff teams? Can we make a deep run? I think the Rangers actually stack up very well against the American League teams. I'm not worried against Baltimore at all. I understand they currently have the best record in the American League. I'm not worried against the Tampa Bay Rays anywhere either. Now that McClanahan's down for the year, they don't look like the same team. They're not hitting power the same way. Franco's been sent home. I'm not really worried about either of the American League East teams. Now, the Twins have certainly played better baseball in the second half of the season. Everybody thought they were more of a doormat playoff team this year, but they certainly look a lot better. Their rotation looks much better. Carter hits this one hard, deep right field, up and gone. Home run, Evan Carter. Hello. 5th home run of the season for Evan Carter, and that's a couple more big insurance runs here for Texas as they look to try to trim that magic number down to 4 or down to 2. That's the 5th home run. Jonah Heim scores as well. And wow, this bench just absolutely feeling the rookie right now. He looks every bit the part of a future star right now in Texas. Mound visit here for the LA Angels. Just absolutely got every bit of that. Kind of leaned into it when he swung too. And just off the Budweiser scoreboard sign out there just above the yellow line, maybe about 4 or 5 feet. All Brett Phillips can do is field it off of the scoreboard and throw it into the stands. What a swing by Evan Carter. Another big at-bat for the rookie. Wow. Welcome in, Will. Absolutely. Nice job of tuning in at exactly the right time, Will. Carter having some words with Nathaniel Lowe as Nathaniel gets ready, should he be needed here in the ninth as a hitter. 0-1 here to Semien as he takes strike two right at the knees. Semien doesn't say anything but just looks at the umpire like, really? Yeah, it was a strike. Estevez looking to bounce back. This will be the 21st pitch of the inning for him. Hard hit but foul, 97 in and off the plate. Exactly where he wanted it. 0-2 remains the count right now. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. We really appreciate the support. 2-run home run by Evan Carter here in the ninth to double the Rangers' advantage. This one's fouled back again. It remains 0-2. In the top of the seventh, the Astros still lead 4-3 right now. We'll update you guys here in just a moment if there were any ejections from that benches clearing little squabble in that Astros-Mariners game. That one misses high, 1-2. In case you guys aren't aware of what happened, Neris came out of the bullpen for the Astros, proceeded to throw get out of the sixth inning there against the Mariners, and at the end, literally charged down the mound, huffing and puffing at Julio Rodriguez, who had just finished striking out. Rodriguez was walking back to the dugout, but benches had to clear, separating them. We'll see what happened in the aftermath. But you're correct, Dreadnought. Carter has absolutely been a breath of fresh air for the team. Exactly what they needed. And boom, just like that, another home run for Marcus Semien. 5-0 Texas. 29 home runs now on the year for Semien. He just might get to that 30 home runs. That is also his 99th RBI of the season. Absolutely crushed that one, dead center field. Beautiful stroke there by Marcus. 5-run advantage. Corey Seager due up next. 105 off the bat. 418 feet to center field. Beautiful swing there by Marcus. Just right at the knees, middle fastball, and just got all of it. Corey Seager takes that one low and in the dirt, 1-0. 5-0 Texas. Beautiful. The 1-0 pitch off the outside corner. 2-0 now. The Rangers now have the lead in the American League. 231 home runs. Leads all of the American League at least. The 2-0. This one's very high and above the zone, but Seager fouls it straight back to the screen. Save some home runs for the Mariners. I'll put it this way, Zachary. It's all about keeping momentum right now. And this offense, while it had been decent today, they really hadn't had the same strength that they did earlier over the last couple of days of home runs. No, they weren't going to match that again. I mean, they tied a franchise record in a 2-game span with 10 home runs. They weren't going to do that, but they looked like they weren't getting on in front of people, in front of those home runs, and now we're starting to see both working a little bit better right now. It's now 3-2 as that one misses inside to Seager. Angels getting the bullpen going as Leclerc is just standing out there right now in the Rangers bullpen. Wonder if they go to Josh Spores instead if they continue to keep this going. This one's another hard hit ball through the hole on the right side between first and second base. It looks like we will get a mound visit here. 3 straight hard hit balls off of Estevez. A 2-run home run by Carter. Another home run by Marcus Semien. And now the base hit by Seager. This might be it here for the Angels closer. Nathaniel Lowe is due up next. And they are taking the ball from him. Rangers get to Estevez. It's now 5-0 as the Angels go to their bullpen once again. Nice work by the Texas Rangers as they try to close out the season strong, get some momentum as they go into the playoffs. Remember, even if they get into the playoffs and win the division, they're going to have some time off between the end of the season while the wild card series are going on, so they'll have at least a few days off. So you don't need to get everybody, 3 or 4 days off against the Mariners. You might just want to get them off their feet for a game, maybe a game and a half, Maybe have him DH and have somebody else, play their fielding position that day. I'm talking about guys like Leody Taveras, who played almost every single game that he's been healthy in that Rangers lineup for Texas. I'm talking about guys like Nathaniel Lowe, who could use a day off. A guy like Jonah Heim, who wore out severely at the end of last season, missed some time due to injury, and that's why he looks fresher right now. I want to keep him fresh for the postseason. That's why I'm predicting he's the one that gets at least 2 games off against that Mariners team. I'm guessing Austin Hedges probably draws the start in both of those. And then you look at guys that are coming back from injury. Adolis Garcia, Corey Seager, Josh Young. You want to keep those guys fresh and healthy for the postseason, so maybe getting them off their feet for a day and then letting them DH another, get Ezekiel Duran's bat in there, get Jankowski's bat in there, as they've missed a lot of time recently with the additions that they brought up recently. Ezekiel Duran really hasn't been the same hitter in the second half of the year. Getting his bat right would be fantastic off the bench, especially when they try to do the right-left thing. Robbie Grossman's been really good recently. I'm pretty sure he's going to get at least 1, probably 2 starts against Seattle. Caceres comes out of the bullpen here for the Angels. 2 outs, 1 on here in the bottom of the 9th. Looks like the Astros have really kind of opened things up in the 7th. It's now 7-3 Houston over the Mariners. Brantley with a RBI knock in that one to make it 7-3. So Rangers getting some good news here against the Angels. Meanwhile, not so good news as Houston still holding tough against the Mariners there. Kelvin Caceres getting his major league debut right now. In 52 games in the minors this year, has a 4.12 ERA, 85 strikeouts in only 54 innings. However, the walks, 32 walks, that's where you got to be careful, just not swinging at bad pitches. So we'll see how selective Nathaniel Lowe is here. 5-0 our score. Rangers have scored 3 so far here in the 9th, as that one goes way, way wild. Misses the catcher's glove by about 4 feet as that one goes straight to the backstop. Safe to say he was a little amped for his major league debut there. I'm sure he did not expect to be in this ball game with Estevez coming on in the 9th. So I say he missed his glove by 4 feet. He missed location by about 4 feet off the tip of the glove of O'Hop and back to the backstop. Little tapper foul, and it's 1-1 now. Lowe evening the count. 0 for 3 so far is Nathaniel with a walk. 3 big insurance runs, though, here in the 9th for Texas. A 2-run home run by Evan Carter and a solo shot by Marcus Semien. 5th home run of the season for Carter. 29th for Marcus Semien. The 1-1 pitch right on the inside corner. Dotted that corner there. Looks like Josh Sborz is indeed ready as well. He just got activated today. Jake Latz was the guy optioned after he pitched 2 1/3 last night. A brilliant performance by Jake Latz. Another wild pitch there. This time O'Hop able to get out there and catch it. Literally sprung from his catching position into the other batter's box to catch it. 2-2's the count. The set by Caceres and the pitch. Fastball right at the knees, tapped foul first base side, and we'll do it again. Appreciate you guys joining us. Got 55, almost 60 of you guys with us right now. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Hit the heart in the chat if you'd like as well. We really do appreciate all the support y'all have given us during this 3-game set we've done for you guys. Another foul ball, 96 down the third base line and out of play. 2-2 the count here to Nathaniel. Would like to see Josh Sborz get into the game and turn in a nice performance. He was a good 7th, 8th inning setup guy earlier in the year before he went on the IL. Struggled with command a little bit, but nowhere near the level of struggles he had the previous years. When he's on his game, he is lights out from a bullpen perspective. When he is not, he gives up a lot of walks and a lot of hard contact. So we'll see what happens. 3-2 pitch. Seager will be off with the pitch on this one. Or not, and it takes it low. And it's now going to be first and second. Looked like Corey was wanting to get moving there on that one. But instead it'll be up to Adolis to keep this one going. That is the 92nd walk for Nathaniel Lowe so far this year. passing Shohei Ohtani for tops in the American League. First pitch here from Caceres, low and away. Gets the chase from Garcia, but this one goes all the way to the backstop, and again, runners will advance on this one. I thought it might have gotten off the end of the bat. It does not, and instead it'll be second and third now. 0-1 count here with an 0-2 or with 2 outs here in the ninth. We saw some controversy about a foul tip earlier today. Brian Snitker, the manager of the Atlanta Braves, getting ejected because of a clear foul ball that allowed a run to score. The umpire didn't notice it was a foul ball, and the umpires got together and then still didn't decide it was a foul ball. Snitker come out and starts to argue his case and say, hey, at least review it. This is something obvious. They missed it. They didn't review it, and instead Snitker was sent home and is going to get fined because he was ejected. So something as simple as a foul ball is going to cost the Atlanta Braves skipper some money, a suspension, and it's going to cost them a run in that game. Two-one here to Adolis. Another big swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch, low and away. Looked like it would have been a strike either way. 2-2 the count. Caceres in his major league debut, just looking for his first out. Tries to get the chase from Garcia, does not get it. 3-2 now. Time requested here by Adolis. A double, a home run, just missed another home run earlier as well and grounded into a double play his last time up. He's had a good game for Texas today. The 3-2 pitch, grounded foul, third base side, and we'll do it again. Rangers scoring a run in the first. Marcus Semien coming around on that double by Adolis in the first. A home run by Garcia in his next at-bat. The 2-run shot by Evan Carter earlier here in the ninth inning, and then Marcus Semien with a solo home run. Two more base batters have reached base here anyway for the Rangers. And now Adolis lifts this one, 96-mile-an-hour fastball deep center field at the wall, and just in front of the National Car Rental sign, Joe Adell makes a catch there as he bangs into the wall. Adolis realizing he just missed another home run today. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. Rangers lead it 5-0. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Rangers today. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Angels. And we go to the ninth inning. I'm guessing Josh Sborz is coming on for the Rangers. We shall see if it's him or Leclerc. Dane Dunning pitched well today. Looks like he avoided any injuries. Was worried about him possibly developing a blister, how much he was blowing on his hand at the very last inning, but nothing seems to have developed, nothing being reported anyway by the Rangers beat reporters. So that is good. He looked very crisp in his final start before the postseason. He will probably be your Game 1 starter in the ALDS. Struggled a little bit with location in that 4th and 5th inning, but was able to course correct and get it done. It was a nice insurance run for Semien, I agree. Checking in on that Mariners-Seattle game once again. Still 7-3, Seattle getting the base runner on, or a first hitter on anyway. With a walk by Suarez, now a strikeout by Hernandez, 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. Jared Kelenic is up next. Abreu has come out of the bullpen for the Astros. Meanwhile, it's actually Jose Leclerc who comes on. He was going to be the guy coming in anyway if it was a 2-run game. I think Josh Sborz got up just in case it got even bigger of a deficit for the Angels in either event. Rangers are very happy with the scoreboard right now. See if anybody else has come into the game for Texas. Mainly for Jonah Heim is what I'm wondering. Jose Leclerc has been very good over the last couple of months. Only had a couple of rough outings, but other than that, he's been nails so far for them in the second half. Exactly what the Rangers were hoping for when they started the season, but he lost that closer job due to inconsistency with the pitch locations, with the walks, those types of issues, and he just wasn't able to correct it. Now in 54 games so far this year, 53 and two-thirds innings pitched, a 2.85 earned run average, 62 strikeouts to 27 walks. Again, most of those walks were earlier in the year. He has since corrected that issue, and he looks significantly better than what he did early on. Strike one here to Neto on the outside corner. 0-1. See if the Rangers can put this one to bed and make that magic number fall to 2. That one misses low and away. Neto taking all the way on that one. It does look like Jonah Heim is still back there at catcher. This one misses. Now 2-1. Didn't miss that outside corner by much. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. The 2-1. Cutter misses even worse outside there. 3-1. Really don't want to see a leadoff walk here. What you're hoping for from Leclerc was at least a clean inning from a walk perspective. The 3-1 fastball right at the top of the zone. Looks like that's the one pitch that he's able to command right now. See if he's sharper with his Slambio here. Got to imagine that's the pitch that's coming, his best pitch. 3-2 here to Neto. Has a couple of strikeouts and a walk so far today. It's another heater here, fouled off by Neto. And we'll do it again. This time on the inner half of the plate. Yeesh, these ads keep popping up on this game day site for you guys. Sorry about that. It keeps popping the screen up and down. And that one just misses the outside corner. Not what you want to see from Leclerc here is a leadoff walk. Neto draws it. One on, nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth for the Angels. Brandon Drury up next, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts as well. Moustakas waiting on deck, followed by Oha. First pitch here, pretty much right down the middle, slider for a strike, 0-1. Like to see a double play if possible, wipe out that leadoff walk, and then finish it against Moustakas. Swing and a miss on a slider well outside of the zone, 0-2 now. Couldn't hold up on the check swing, if you will. Drury having an eye roll for the first base umpire. Very expressive player. He'll never hide what he's feeling, that's for sure. The 0-2 pitch. Tapped foul. Third base side. 0-2. Leclerc up to 10 pitches so far. Didn't miss that fair ball by much, though. Looks like they're finally ready to go. The 0-2 here from Leclerc. Nice hard fastball right at the top of the zone. 99. Had a little extra on that one. And gets Brandon Drury there. Funny thing about Jose Leclerc, when he first came up from the minor leagues with the Texas Rangers, they looked nothing alike, don't get me wrong. But the one guy I thought he looked a lot like was Aroldis Chapman. He was really wild at the time. Aroldis is still really wild. But he had that heat at the time. His fastball has dropped a little bit since the injury a little bit though. That Slambio, though, was the wipeout pitch. And Aroldis had that big fastball followed by that slider to kind of mix it up with it. And the two just looked very similar, just the way they would attack hitters. Physically, though, Aroldis Chapman, much bigger, stronger pitcher. Leclerc, much shorter, much skinnier pitcher, but they still pitched very similarly. And Leclerc from the right side, Chapman from the left, but other than that, very similar styles as far as how they like to attack hitters. Leclerc still seems to be trying to get back to that a little bit from when he was best, when he was healthy before the injury. And looks like his velocity's getting up there again. Not sure it'll ever get into consistent triple digits like Chapman again, but if this is the best Leclerc right here, maybe learning to use those off-speed pitches a little better will make him a better pitcher in the long run. The 1-2 pitch here to Moustakas, lifted foul, and we'll do it again. Exactly, Ryan. Let's go Rangers. I know we got a lot of Rangers fans with us as they look to try to clinch the AL West here in the next couple of games. The 1-2, high fastball again gets a swing and miss from Moustakas. And down to the final out, the Angels send Logan O'Hoppe to the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts on that high fastball. One in the strike zone. This one a little bit higher than that one. This one at 98, pretty much right at the eyes of Moustakas, unable to lay off. After a leadoff walk, back-to-back strikeouts, and first pitch swinging, O'Hoppe pops this one into shallow left center. Carter makes the play, and that'll do it here for the Rangers. Into the game, 5-0. Rangers take it, and they close to within 2. Their magic number is now 2 to win the AL West. We'll check in on that Mariners and Astros game here in just a moment, but nice work by Texas. Big home run in the 9th from Evan Carter and Marcus Semien to stretch their advantage, but player of the game for me is going to be Adolis Garcia. Double to get things started in the first for the Rangers. A big home run to make it 2-0, overcoming his defensive gaffe after he lost the ball in the lights and allowed a runner to get the third. Luckily, Dane Dunning was able to recover and not allow the run to score. In fact, the Rangers don't allow a run at all. They get the 3-hit shutout against the LA Angels, and that's how things will end for the Angels against the Rangers this season. Griffin Canning, in what was his best performance against the Rangers this year, pitched very well and falls to 7-8 on the season. A 4.32 earned run average for him is how he will end his season. Dane Dunning, in what was likely his final start of the season, 12-6 gets the win, a 3.72 ERA as he goes into his first ever American League postseason series in the ALDS, more than likely. We'll see who they face in that series if they do win the AL West. But looks like the Rangers have got their rotation pretty much set up. Just got to keep this team healthy more than anything else as they go into the final series against Seattle. Let's check in on that Seattle game. I believe Houston has stretched out their advantage a little further now. It's now 8-3 as Martin Maldonado has added another run to the scoreboard here as Seattle is now losing 8-3. Either way, magic number is now 2 for Texas. If by some miracle Seattle comes back and wins this one, Seattle will give the Rangers one more advantage as they go into the final series of the season. So remember, Seattle plays Texas. The final 4 games of the season will be a big series for them. We'll see if the Rangers are able to get a couple more victories, keep their momentum, keep this team strong, and get some fresh guys out there and let their guys get a little bit of rest before the end of the season so they're fresh for the postseason. Maybe get some guys off the bench, some regular at-bats. Ezekiel Duran, Travis Jankowski is who I'm really focusing on there. Just allow those guys to get back into a rhythm before they get into the postseason. So we'll see how things go the rest of the way, but Texas takes this one 5-0 in the series finale against the LA Angels. Dane Dunning, your winner, and what a performance by the Rangers all the way around. Evan Carter looks like the real deal as far as a future star in this sport. Hits his 5th home run of the season. Marcus Semien hits his 29th. Adolis Garcia gets his 105th RBI of the season as well. And what a great season it's been for the Texas Rangers. Far better than what pretty much any of the pundits out there really thought coming into the year. Heck, they're even doing better, especially offensively, from what I expected coming into the season. And we'll see how they're able to go against the Seattle Mariners. Again, that magic number is down to 2. They need a combination of Rangers wins or Astros losses Any two will get the job done. If they get 2 victories in Seattle, they win the AL West. If the Astros lose 2 more games this year, they win the AL West. So Rangers very likely going to hold on and win the American League West and get the first round bye and go into the playoffs strong. Baltimore looks very likely to get the first bye and win the division in the American League East. It'll be likely Toronto getting one of the other wild card spots, and then probably the winner of this game between Houston and Seattle will get that final wild card spot. Framber Valdez got touched up in this one, but looks like they were able to course correct, and they lead it 8-3 right now. Appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be live again tomorrow night for the Texas and Seattle game as well. Make sure you guys join us for that. Post a few more videos for you guys as well, so make sure you hit that follow, subscribe button here on YouTube. Really does help when you guys do that. Really appreciate all the likes during our live tonight, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow evening. Appreciate all the support. Y'all have a nice night.